had to get that out.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the C3 Friday Free for All, the show that is for Panthers fans by Panthers fans. Hey, man, we are hoping y'all are surviving through that heat wave that is going on everywhere, man. It is hotter than Satan's oven outside, boys. I hope y'all are staying cool, staying refreshed, and as always, we appreciate you for joining us every Friday evening as your favorite Panthers creators talk your favorite football team, the Carolina Panthers. And listen, this is y'all's show. If y'all would like to be a part of the action, be a part of the discussion, then hit that link pinned to the top of the YouTube chat, pinned to the top of the Facebook chat to join the show via StreamYard and be a part of this Panther discussion that you know we're going to have. First up, you know him. You love him. He might tell you to shut the hell up. It's Panther Pickle back on the free-for-all. What's up, bro?
What's up, guys? You know what? Today, a person said, I can't handle the heat. We was at work. 98 degrees in the building. People was cooking. He said, I can't handle this heat. I can't handle this heat. And the lady that we work with looked at him and said, well, if you can't handle this, what do you think hell's going to be like when you die?
She said, you better repent.
He didn't say nothing the rest of the day. Not to no one.
Yeah, so hey, they better repent and be a part of this.
That's it.
You know?
Stay cool, boys and girls. And hey, listen, if you can't stay cool, just get naked.
Yeah, just don't do it on the free-for-all, Pickle. Keep your damn shirt on, or I'm going to kick you out of here, bro.
No.
Next
man.
up,
I don't want to overflow the excitement.
All right, then. Listen, man, since we're already doing a bunch of glazing, let me welcome in the brand ambassador, who you know he's always got the background themed for the free-for-all. My man, my brother, These Ill Skills. What's up, bro?
Nothing much, just doing donuts over here. You know, I'm still celebrating this Adam Thelen Appreciation Day, as you can see here from my collage I've got put together. Lots of Adam Thelen for everyone out there. Just reminding you who the oldest wide receiver in the NFL is by 2 years and who's set to have a great season with Bryce Young this year. His submarine working underneath for the admiral of our fleet, our armada of wide receivers that we have here in Carolina. And I'm glad to say that we have that. We have something to talk about and discuss when it comes to wide receivers. Look at all the years past where we haven't had a good wide receiving core. And now we've got guys that we're all hopeful for. And most of us don't agree which one to be hopeful for. And I think that's a great problem to have on this free-for-all. It's going to be a great show. I know we're going to get into Evero some. Wanted to remind everyone real quickly that the Panthers defense allowed 534 points, most in NFL history last year, along with 6,800 total yards, second most ever in NFL history, and 3,000 rushing yards allowed, third most ever in NFL history. So the real question is, what did we put together? Did we put together a winning crew on this defense? I'm ready to get into that discussion with all my C3 football family. I'm ready to roll. Let's go.
Let's go. Shout out to Off the Pace, who says GF Sports has an awesome documentary about Adam Thelen on YouTube, and that it's worth a watch. Thanks for the shout out, man. We might have to check that out sometime. Next up, my man all the way from California, we got Michael Wydrick on the show. Michael, his grandma is going through some health troubles, so we ask that everybody keep Michael and his family in your prayers if you are the praying type. But Michael, we're happy to have you on the show to take your mind off of that and let you talk some Panther football, brother. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, guys. Like as Cody said, please keep my family in your prayers. Um, my grandmother is going through another battle of cancer. So I just hope that you guys can understand that my family's going through a rough time right now. I mean, there's other people out there that are going through cancer too. So I mean, if you guys can just right, I mean, if you're the praying type, that's cool. I respect you guys for that.
That's it.
So yeah, I just want to keep. I want you guys to keep my grandmother in your prayers. Let her get through this struggle one more time, and hopefully it's the last.
Yes, sir. Everybody keep Michael in your prayers. And like I said, man, we're going to have everybody have the perfect getaway today and talk some Panther football. Next up, we got my brother from another mother, Cole, back in the building. Cole, what's up, bro? Welcome back to the Free For All, man.
Cody, like, happy Friday to you. Happy Friday, boys. It's the dog days of summer. We all can admit that. I really don't feel like there's much going on, but I'm so excited because we are almost to that point, Cody, where you can start counting down your Sundays and your Thursdays, and we're going to actually have some real meaningful football. And if you want to get even more into it, we'll have preseason contact football even sooner than that. So I'm excited, man. It's a lot to be happy to look forward to.
Let's go. And, man, listen, it doesn't matter if we're in the thick of the season or in the deadest time of the off season. C3 Panthers Podcast is going to be podcasting. You know what I mean? And you know it's always a show when we got my bro, Wes Justin, back on the Free For All. What's up, baby?
What's up, baby?
What's
How's
up,
everybody
baby?
doing tonight?
Doing good, brother. How you doing, man?
Good, ready to keep pounding. You know, you already know.
Let's go. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. And hit that notification bell for every single time the C3 Panthers Podcast goes live, gentlemen. Xavier Leggett is out there training routes, working on his routes with the Route God. Put it out there on Instagram. I have said that I believe that Xavier Leggett has the most potential out of any wide receiver on the Panthers roster. Now, we have a ton of potential. We just drafted Nalo from the beautiful Isles of Hawaii. We have Jalen Coker on this team, came out of nowhere. And the ever-youthful Adam Thelen, has the best connection with Bryce Young out of any Panthers wide receiver. So I'm going to post a question back on to y'all. What Panthers wide receiver do you believe has the most potential or the highest ceiling? However you want to say it. Who do you believe is the man in the Panthers wide receiver room? Boys, this is a free-for-all, damn it. Jump on that thing.
I would like to go first since that
Go ahead,
I'm going ahead on this. So
Go ahead.
I'd like to say my personal opinion would be, as much as I love the young rookies and all, I would have to just say Tedorola McMillan, because like he's got now I know people are going to sit there and call me, oh yeah, you just like him because he's he's just a rookie. Well, sometimes when you just got to get the tough game going, you got to keep it rolling because automatically what this guy's going to show is what I want to see on every Sunday, which is something that I haven't seen out of Xavier Leggett yet, but hopefully he can teach him, or no, not teach, I'm sorry. But like show him the way to run the routes, and hopefully when he takes the opportunities away from defenders, maybe Xavier Leggett can learn something from that, or maybe even I can't say Jalen Coker, but whoever else is the next man up is what I'm saying. That's my opinion.
Yeah, basically, if you have a bunch of people on Tedoroa McMillan, that's going to open
Right.
up a bunch of opportunities for Xavier Leggett
Yes.
and some of these
Yes.
other guys. And I think that was
Yes.
part of the purpose in drafting a player like Tedoroa McMillan and what he has the potential to do in drawing people away. I mean, they're all going to benefit each other. And I think, part of the reason I said what I said was because people forget that Xavier Leggett at 235 pounds ran a 4.3. Like, the dude is a physical monster. To me, his ceiling is absolutely incredible. What say y'all, man? Listen, I know Jalen Coker has a lot of fans too. So who are y'all saying is the best, highest ceiling wide receiver on this roster? Someone jump on it.
Well, it's hard to say, really, because you got Tedoroa McMillan, who was drafted higher than anybody else on this roster. He has loads of talent. Some would say he doesn't have elite speed, but if you run good enough routes and you catch the ball really good, you don't really need elite speed. Xavier Leggett is a little faster, but he had issues last year. But does he have them in the future? I don't think so. I like Jalen Coker and I like Jimmy Horn Jr. And I'm going to stick with him. I'm not going to get in chatterbox with the older guys, because if you include the older guys in the conversation, one would have to go Adam Thelen, because he has all their stats and he has all the miles and he has all the catches. But for this conversation and what we're talking about right now, I'm going to have to go Tedoroa McMillan, in my opinion.
All right, why do you think so?
Because he's going to be the number one guy out there. The question is, does he live up to the hype of being a top 10 pick? That's what I mean. I think he's going to get a lot of the targets. I think he'll be the number one guy. I think he'll be the top guy looked at on most routes.
Yeah, I think so. And like I said, that's why the Panthers drafted him to be as such. But can I just say this real quick, boys? There was a lot of smoke for Xavier Leggett going to the Kentucky Derby and hunting squirrels and being in music videos with rap artists and shit. And everyone was saying, oh, he's not out there working. He's not out there working. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but is this man not out here working, catching passes, working on his routes? Like, this is what everybody wanted to see from him. So keep the kudos at the same level that a lot of people kept that criticism. That's all I'm saying, boys. Who wants to jump on it?
Well, from the ones that had that opinion, I don't know that that's going to be the outlook. I don't think those particular people just believe in the guy at all, and that's okay. Really? That's your Panthers fandom. You like who you like on this team. There ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm just glad, like I said earlier, I'm just glad we're able to have these conversations about which ones we do like the best and which ones we don't like. That's fine. There's plenty of it to go around. But as far as athletic potential, it's got to be XL, right? The size, the speed, the power. And that was stuff that I wanted to see from him last year. I wanted to see some yak yards. Like, we saw him training with Deebo Samuels and how Deebo Samuels led the league for years in yak yards. But we didn't see that from XL. I wanted to see him, put a small DB in the ground, and it never happened. It seemed like they got really good early on at diving at his legs and getting him tripped up and him not able to get those extra yards. Maybe he'll be able to do that this year. I hope he does. McMillan, T-Mac, really needs to be the guy. He needs to be the one with the best 2025 because of what we have invested in him as far as draft capital. I believe in that. But if we're talking about potential for the 2025 season, why not Hunter Renfro? Why couldn't it be him? If he had a return to his form in 2021 with catching over 100 balls and over 1,000 yards, making a Pro Bowl appearance, it would be Hunter Renfro. Would be able to make out. You could make an argument for him to have the most potential for 2025, especially he's back in good shape, and it looks like he is from practice. I mean, the way that we showed some of the clips of his routes here on the free for all, and the way he's cutting and digging. It doesn't look a guy that's unhealthy or a guy that's weak by any means. It looks like a guy that's strong, returning to where he was formerly in his career. And he could be hungry enough to be the guy that does it this year, Cody. He could be really hungry and ready to make this comeback and make his mark on the 2025 season for the Carolina Panthers.
I love that, bro. And listen, I'm going to remain consistent. Before we drafted Nalo, T-Mac, however y'all want to call him, right? I said that just because XL had a few drops in 2024 doesn't mean I think any less of him as a potential number one wide receiver. And I still believe that about him. Going into his second year, I'm expecting big stuff from Xavier Legette. I'm expecting big stuff from Jalen Coker. And I believe you're right, these are skills. You cannot count out the former Pro Bowler and Clemson Tiger great Hunter Renfro from this equation, man. I really don't think that you can. I think this is going to be one of the better Panthers wide receiver rooms that we've had in a very long time. Let me welcome in my brother from the West Coast, Alex, A1 for Panthers. Alex, what's up, bro?
Hey, Cody. Hey, what's going on, guys? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, bro. Let me ask you this.
Happy Friday to you too.
Yes, sir. Who do you feel is going to be what wide receiver on the Panthers roster, in your opinion, has the highest upside / potential, however you want to say it? Who do you think has the most talent in the Panthers wide receiver room?
I mean, gosh, it's tough to say. Kind of like what Pickle said. I mean, technically, we drafted, T-Mac top 10 wide receiver, so he's essentially supposed to be the guy for us. So that's who I think personally. But I see a lot of potential in Xavier Legette. I really do. I thought his route running was fine last year. I thought a lot of times he was open. He'd get open. He'd find that hole in the zone. It was mainly his hands that was a cause for concern. But that's something to me. I think and I know I've talked with Pickle about it before as well. Moose had the same problem, and he was able to fix that. So it's something that obviously this last season he was a rookie. It happens. He dropped some balls, but I think it's something that he could change for sure.
Absolutely, man. Great comment by Sideshow. Says when you're taking into consideration draft position wise, Jimmy Horn has potential compared to where he was drafted. That's a great point. And hey, we want to welcome Keith Vines to the C3 Friday Free for All C3 Legion. We appreciate you, brother. If you want to join the show, hop on in, man. This discussion is open for anyone and everyone. All Panther fans, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, bro. Let me go to my man, Wes Justin. Wes, if you're picking, what Panthers wide receiver has the highest upside in your opinion, bro?
All right, so of course we're all expecting McMillan to come in and ball out, right? I mean,
Sure.
If you look at the draft history, how many times has a quarterback stepped up and been like, "Hey, I want this guy," and then that quarterback didn't target him the most. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Bryce is going to be after targeting McMillan just because he put his word in on him. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, I think Coker, dude. I like Coker. He's looking swifter. Screw the injury stuff. I'm not worried about all that. He's going to be healthy and ready to go, dude. It's pre-camp injury that everybody's been talking about. I'm not worried about that. I think Coker's going to come in and actually he's going to ball, dude. He was undrafted rookie last year. This year, people know his name, and he's about to make the people that don't know his name know his name.
Yes, sir.
He let us know real quick, and we're Panthers fans.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And bro, we got some Sea Dog is in the chat. G Baby's in the chat. He says shout out Jalen Coker, future number one wide receiver. And look, man, that's how you know that we're in a good spot. Depending upon what fan you're talking to, they will tell you that a different wide receiver has the true number one wide receiver potential, all dependent upon who you're talking to, man. So, hey, to me, that's a good problem to have. Cole, I know you've had some real strong opinions from a lot of these different wide receivers, but bro, if you're picking right now, what wide receiver has the most potential on this roster?
The exact wide receiver you were speaking on when you asked me that question, good sir. I actually think it's XL.
Okay.
I think he's got the most to prove. And then y'all, I shouldn't say y'all, but the majority of the family has talked me into giving Xavier grace for his last year. So I feel like I need to do that with Nilo, maybe a little bit more expectations because he is an early first rounder. But I think it's just as soon as you asked that question, it just hit my heart that Xavier was the right answer. And I can't really explain it right as much right now, but I think down the road we can come back to this question and we'll see why.
Hey, Cole, it's understandable, man. I mean, we've all seen in the draft, like we've seen wide receivers, rookie, come out and they ball 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. It happens. But I think XL was somebody that's probably like has a potential, like we were talking about. It's just like he was probably going to be a second round pick early, I think.
I mean, he is to me. You're the last pick of the first round. That's a second round pick,
right? So it's kind of like that's where I want to give. That's why I'm in the same position where I'm like I want to give him some grace. He dropped some tough balls, but he also played well at times. So I'm with you. I'm with you with the XL thing for sure.
He looks good, man. I think he's gonna be just fine, Cody.
Yeah, I do too. And listen, like I just don't believe that you can blame, or say that a person's rookie season in the NFL is indicative of what he's going to be for the rest of his future. Like there have been players that have had terrible rookie seasons that have gone on to have incredible careers. And, I really do think that this is an opportunity for a lot of these guys to really step up because just like I said, that each one of these guys has their own fans. I feel like each one of these guys has their own detractors. I mean, look at our chat room for any indication, right? There's some XL haters. There's some Hunter Renfro haters. There's some Jalen Coker haters.
I don't hate any of them, Cody. Now.
Yeah, but it's like there's haters of all these guys.
Oh, there's definitely fan clubs.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So I feel like every one of these dudes has something to prove.
Jinx baby has got to come in here. He just does, Jinx a baby. Jinx a baby, man. He hates it, Chuba Hubbard, because let's be real now. Last year, he hyped up last 2 years in a row, he hyped up Miles Sanders, one of the best things since ever, right? Hyped him up. And you know what? Let's be real. Every time BG baby hypes somebody up, they suck. I mean, let's hope he stops hyping up Bryce Young.
Hey, maybe we need G Baby to do the reverse of Jinx. We need him to talk some shit about folks that he likes, so that way they can actually be good.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah, hey man, hey, shout out to
G Baby. I told you, leave Cade Mays' name out of your fucking mouth.
Man. Hey, listen, shout out to Keith Vines. Keith Vines says I got 5 on it for C3 Panthers Podcast. Appreciate you, Keith. That's love, bro. Let me welcome Daniel back on the Friday Free For All. Daniel, how are you, bro?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Doing wonderful, man. And let me ask you, who do you believe has the highest potential out of all the wide receivers on this roster for the Carolina Panthers?
Well, I mean, it's difficult to speak, on T-Mac because he's a rookie. Haven't really seen anything based on his college. I'd say him, but I'm gonna do a shocking one, and I'm gonna go with Renfro. I'm gonna go with Renfro, man. Just because one, he's shown what he can do, and he's looked good out there from everything that is being reported. He looks good. So I'm a pull for Renfro on this one. I'm gonna say it's him.
Yeah, man. Listen, people think that I'm just being biased because I'm a fan of the Clemson Tigers. But bro, I'm really just being real. Hunter Renfro is a technician. He has incredible hands. He doesn't drop anything thrown his way. I know it's an easy comparison, but to me, him and Adam Thelen, they're very similar in what they do well. They're route technicians. They're not the fastest, but if you throw the ball their way, they are coming down with that ball. So
I mean,
in agreement.
If there's anything that Thielen has, proven is that, you don't have to be the fastest. You know, and Renfro as well. They've proven that you don't have to be the fastest. You know, so
Yeah.
I see the upside that he's got. You know, hopefully he's healthy. You know, hopefully he's good to go. But I believe that if he is, I believe it'll be him. I think he's going to shock a lot of people.
Yeah. So, boys, before we move on, is there anything else that any of y'all would like to say about any of these other wide receivers? So, for example, even if y'all wanted to throw some of these tight ends into the equation, I know they're not technically wide receivers, but they are going to be receiving options for Bryce. So, y'all can even talk about them if y'all wanted to.
Cody, I just want to say veteran leadership and route running, Panther Pickle. That's going to be key with Renfro and Thelen. You can possibly get a lot of that if they both get on the
Well,
field.
yeah. And make no mistake, I think Renfro makes the 53. Absolutely. I'm not ready to say that he's going to be the best receiver this year. We're nowhere near ready to say that. But you know,
I would like to see just
if Hunter Renfro and Adam Thelen are the two best receivers on this roster, we've got problems, y'all.
That ain't
Might
gonna be our
not
best.
like to hear it, but we got problems.
That ain't gonna be our best two. You can go ahead and count that out, my friend.
I agree, though, Pickle. I agree. We have 2 first-round picks at wide receiver. To me, look, as much as I love Hunter, as much as I love Adam,
Right.
it needs to be one of those 2 dudes
Right.
that is the primary weapon for Bryce this year.
Right.
Cody.
Right.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
but I mean, you also got to understand that, you know, T-Mac may go through growing pains.
True.
He may not, you know, he may not be like everybody's expecting. You know, NFL is a different beast. So, you know, we have to keep expectations. I mean, you know, there's some rookies that come out and they're awesome, they're great, but others struggle, and we just don't know with T-Mac yet, you know, what he's going to do. Now, XL, he should have a leap, but I just don't know.
No, I
Right.
hear you.
No,
Kyle was about to, Alex was about to jump in. Go ahead, Alex. What were you going to say?
Yeah, real quick, Cody. I mean, you alluded to it earlier. I mean, it's like this is a great conversation that we're even having. I mean, I don't remember the last time where we like talked about all these wide receivers, like who we're gonna like go with, who's our go-to, who we like to have all these options for Bryce, like is great, honestly. So I mean, that's all I wanted to like really say was like, man, whoever it is, we just have to have these guys to all step up. That's all.
Yeah, and in a year where Bryce Young needs to separate himself from some of the other young quarterbacks in the NFL, he has every weapon at his disposal to be able to do something. So I'm optimistic about Bryce Young, but I also want to see it. I want to see it this year from Bryce with all these different weapons. I don't think that's too much to ask. Go ahead, Pickle.
Yeah. Travarius Sanders, I think the tight end, I think he's going to be having a very extremely good year. As far as receiving, I would not be surprised if he ain't the 4th or 5th highest receiving target this year at the end of the year. I really do.
Yeah, he picked it up. He picked it up at one point of the season until he like got hurt, or where he like, what was it, his neck or his head area?
Right.
He was.
Oh, that's what he's the one that took the
Yeah,
bad hit.
and he did, and I mean, he was getting some good targets until then, and he'll learn as he goes. He got better, and he's learning as he goes.
And by the way,
he was at the tight end symposium.
Yeah, tight end university that is put on by our very own Greg Olson, and both Jatavion Sanders and the young blood Mitchell Evans were also at tight end university. So my question is going to be towards that, because we talk about the wide receivers, but let's talk about the tight ends real quick. Jatavion Sanders came in looking chiseled, put on more muscle, but it looked like lean muscle, functional muscle, and he really wants to show out this year. We have the young guy, Mitchell Evans, and someone who, believe it or not, I'm still a big fan of, Tommy Tremble, coming back this year. What are we expecting from this Panthers tight end room this year? I'm going to start with my man, Diesel Skills. Deez, what do you make of this tight end room, and who are you expecting to shine this year, brother?
Well, for one, it's explosive. So JT was able to be towards the top of the list for the Carolina Panthers receivers and guys that broke 20-yard plays. I can't remember if it was 6 or if it was 8. I think it was 6. But for him playing a limited amount of games with an injury and it being his rookie season, I find that awfully impressive that he was able to get that many 20-plus yard plays for the Panthers. A lot of it wasn't done like on his running ability after the catch. It wasn't yak yards. He was getting open downfield and finding ways to get Bryce to find him, to target him. He was often open in short routes, so we saw him a lot there too. I think he is set to break out this year. I think we can see something really special from JT. He looks like he's in great shape, and if he stays healthy all year, then he can really put up some gaudy numbers from what he was doing last year. I mean, a guy that already has a chemistry with Bryce Young knows when to kind of scramble and find the open space, and then Bryce knows to look for him and get him the ball. I can't help but remember the one play where he come down over 2 defenders and just landed flat on his back. I mean, he just lost both the guys. He wasn't open by any means, but Bryce trusted him to catch the football. That's what a big, tall tight end's for. And I think Mitchell Evans kind of fits the bill there too. I think he's a guy that we can see some effectiveness in the red zone, where he's getting in the back of the red zone, going up to bring the ball down, or maybe even a fade route near the end zone, something like that for Mitchell Evans. I think he's going to be a good blocker for us. And same thing with Tommy Tremble. He just continues to develop in the passing game, but he's always been a good run blocker and a good solid pass blocker as well. So I expect to see good blocking from this Carolina Panthers tight end room, first overall. And then second of all, I expect to see some explosive plays from JT Sanders.
Absolutely, man. That great comments, man. You know, I really do think that Canales is probably going to try to find a way to work all these guys in at some point this year due to their skill sets, man. Who else wants to talk about these tight ends?
I'll jump on it right quick, Cole.
Go ahead, Cole.
I think Jatavion's going to have a big year, but watch out for the kid from Notre Dame, Evans. I would think he's really going to be a good player as well. I'd love to see some formations and sets where you could have both of them on the field and maybe even a bigger set, and you could have Trimble and all three of them out there, just have 2 slots and one of them playing tight end. There's a lot of things you can do with it. Fullback play. I mean, there's just a bunch of things at Canales' disposal, so I'm really interested to see what he's going to do with that.
Yeah, I have said multiple times on this pod, both Tuesday and Friday, that I'm a big fan of those 2 tight end sets.
Yes, sir.
I think that is a large part of the reason why Cam Newton was so successful his rookie season with Greg Olsen and Jeremy Shockey on this team. And I think that Bill Belichick and the Patriots have been running that to effectiveness for a long time. You know, back when they had Gronk and Hernandez, a name that nobody says anymore. But, you know, to me, it's very useful. And the Baltimore Ravens are another team that have used that to great effect, being able to run the football and pass the football. So I'm really hoping that we see a lot of action out of the tight end room this year.
Same, brother.
Yeah, man. Any other comments on the tight end before we move on?
I agree with the Sanders thing, man. I'm excited about him coming back healthy and ready, knowing the playbook and having chemistry with Bryce. He was already looking dangerous when he, kind of half-assed knew the playbook as a rookie. Right. And he's got a whole offseason to train with Bryce.
Mm-hmm. I'd love to see him in a big slot position, taking on a big or a little cornerback 3 or something like that, Cody, just going off on.
I don't think it's that far-fetched about when they were talking about that we could be a top 10 offense. I could see it happening. I mean,
I wish they quit talking about it and just let it happen, though.
Yeah.
And by the way,
leave it a secret. I'm ready.
Yeah. These are the same people that said Atlanta was going to the NFC title.
I mean, I believe that the only thing that will stop these tight ends is if we don't utilize them the way that we should.
Yes, sir. And by the way, who's got the mute your microphone if you're not talking. Shout out to Sir Donnie 704. Says that y'all see how Sanders worked with Bryce in the offseason. Apparently, Bryce prepares for the season, has factored into the new Sanders we are seeing. Also, he's a lot stronger and faster. That's what I'm saying, dude. And shout out to Bryce for really using the time in the offseason to further build that connection to the wide receivers and the tight ends, to have that connection built in, ready to go by the time we start that season. That's awesome. That's big time. Did you want to say something, Pickle?
Yeah, I just Bryce Canales used tight ends a lot last year. I mean, I can't overemphasize how many times these tight ends were open downfield and just weren't thrown to. I mean, they were there. You can't tell me you watched film and you ain't noticed that. They were there, and they were open.
Tavion specifically, you're right.
Yes, a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
And
that's why I say, if we utilize them,
right.
the only thing that can stop them is if they don't get utilized the way that they should.
Yeah.
And
man, let me welcome in my dog from the 704, pardon me, from the Black Cat Panther Podcast on YouTube. Y'all go check him out. It's my man Poppin' Bullets. What's up, bro?
What's up, y'all?
Chilling, man. Hey, so I asked this earlier. Go ahead, Pop. What'd you say?
I said, shout out to 704 Charlotte Bound.
Yeah, man. Shout them out too, bro. Shout out to one and all the boys over there, man. But Pop, let me ask you. I started out by asking what Panthers wide receiver has the highest upside in this roster. Some people say Coker, some people say XL, some people think it's the Rook, Nalo. For your money, who has the highest potential, highest upside, however you want to put it, on this Panthers roster at wide receiver?
I gotta say T-Mac for sure. Yeah, I mean, he looks like to be, your 10 to 12-year veteran if stayed healthy. But I would say that Leggett would be like the most improved.
Okay,
That's a good way to put it. Didn't think about it that way. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. I mean, so
That would be a good answer for us if that's how it played out too.
Yeah. And listen, I mean, the fact that we have all of them, hopefully the presence of each and every one of them is going to open up more opportunities for the other one. So if Nalo is getting double teamed, then now you're going to have Excel being one-on-one. Or you're going to have Coker one-on-one. Or Hunter Renfro one-on-one in the slot. And y'all know damn well my boy Hunter's making this team. That's a given, bro. I'll fight anybody on that. I don't give a damn, bro. But we're going to have a lot of options for Bryce this year. And these tight ends. Poppin', real quick, what did you make of the tight end room? What are you expecting from these tight ends this year, man?
I mean, I think they're going to fall right in line. I think that Canales got to get them guys going early, get them involved early. And I don't mean just in the run game, but like put them in situations where defense got to be scared of the tight end. Run them up the seam. I think both tight ends are going to be good. I don't really care about Tommy Tremble. I mean, I think he's a fullback. I don't think he's a tight end, but that's your 5-10. And and one quick thing because I gotta do it. Yeah. Where you at, C-Dog? Because I know you seen the XL video. That's what
I said earlier, Pop. Yeah, that's what I said earlier. Yeah, I said, yo, the kudos needs to be as loud as the criticism. That man was out there working, bro. That man's out there working. People need to give him his props for as loud as they were bitching and him going to the Kentucky Derby and being in rap videos. Bro, show some respect, y'all. That man is working.
Cody, I seen people talking about, oh, look at Devontae. He's out there with the route guy last year. He's not even on the team. Now you got XL who's on the team, out there putting in work, and you ain't pulled up yet. Bring your butt up here to the C3 Panthers Podcast and let me hear you brag about your first overall pick last year, first round pick last year is able to get. Because if you could cry about what he did last year, you can talk about what he's doing in the offseason right now. I want to see it. Pull up.
That's what I said. And bro, G-Baby too, bro. G-Baby and C-Dog have been they've written, bro. They're in the chat room right now, bro. Yeah, they've been so tough on XL this entire offseason, Bro, give that man some credit. He has been listening to the haters, and he's out there working, bro.
Yeah, G Baby and C Dog know very little about football. I said it before and I'll say it again. All they do is talk their talk and they don't walk their walk.
Some people say I don't know about
G
football.
Baby dogs Chuba Hubbard. He dogs Cade Mays. He hypes up. G Baby, you know less about football. You know what?
She said 400 yards, bro. That's listen, Pickle. Let G Baby and them come in if they want to talk about it. Until then, I want to talk about something that makes me
They ain't
nervous.
got the balls to do
I
it.
want to talk about something that makes me nervous. All of a sudden, bro, I feel like the media loves the Carolina Panthers. What the hell?
Yeah, I don't know if I
Now
like
this
that.
one's
or like
a real
hate it.
possibility to shock people, be a 7 seed, right? I'm serious. They've got a lot of talent, and they got that young coach and Dave Canales from the Pete Carroll always compete positivity mantra. I mean, Bryce Young, if we can continue his upward swing, right? And you look at their, I mean, I don't know how they're going to split the running back carries, but you know, Chuba Hubbard got that contract. Rico Dowdle's there. Trevor Etienne got drafted. Ted McMillan, Adam Thielen, Xavier Leggett, Hunter Renfro's back in the league, people.
Yeah.
Jimmy Horn, one of our guys from Colorado. Jalen
Legit
Coker.
names.
Is the offensive line right? Defensively, can we make some plays here? Can we surprise some people? Are we sleeping on the Carolina Panthers? Talking.
All right. So now all of a sudden, everybody has a lot of nice shit to say about the Carolina Panthers. And you know, have you ever had some friends in your life that whenever you were down and out and you were on bad times, they didn't say nothing good about you, but now when it's looking like you're getting your stuff back together and now you're starting to get your life back on track, now all of a sudden they want to be good friends and say all kind of nice shit about you. Bro, that's what this feels like to me. I don't trust it. I don't know why. I also think some of the best Panthers teams ever have been some of the most slept on teams in the NFL. What do y'all make of the recent up jump in the media being very complimentary to the Carolina Panthers? Jump on it, boys.
Bro, this is the same exact video I was saying I was watching before I jumped on.
What do you think about it, man? What do y'all think about what the media is saying, what Rich Eisen had to say?
Keep us out the spotlight. I want to earn that shit.
Well, some media
Honestly.
members, some media are saying it just to cover their sides. I think they really are. Now, some media, shout out to it's Panther Brit, I think it is. But anyway, it comes anyway in the chat. It's off this space. Anyway, it says he
Shout out,
watched
Alex.
CBS interview and he didn't get love. I've seen some of them too. But you know what? It's Friday Fair. I'm gonna tell you what I feel. Some of these wannabe sports medias that aren't really sports medias don't know jack shit. FM radio, I've listened to 3 other analysts at least talk good stuff about the Panthers. The one guy who talks all the crap he wants to talk about is some kid named Chris. Hell, I can't remember his last name. Chris Sims. His daddy was a quarterback, pretty decent quarterback, I guess. His brother was an okay quarterback, and we put his brother out of football. Yeah, I said it.
Oh, isn't his dad? His dad's Phil Sims, right?
Phil
Yes.
Sims, yeah.
Yeah. And Chris Sims ain't nothing. He wasn't nothing in college. He wasn't nothing in the pros. So what did he do? They realized he wasn't going to be shit. So Daddy got him a job on XM radio talking football, a topic he knows very little about. And I told his ass that the other day on the phone. I said, dude, shut up. You don't know nothing about football.
Damn.
The only thing you know is what your daddy taught you and the fact that your brother got his ass whooped by the Panthers and they hung up on my ass.
I actually
imagine
disagree, Pickle. actually disagree. I like Chris Sims. I think he's out of the few sports guys. He actually keeps. I think he keeps it pretty fair and pretty real. I love his quarterback breakdowns. I think he's spot on. He does take some crazy takes, but Chris Sims has turned out to be more right than wrong when it comes to QB.
Yeah, bro. He is. I will give credit. Chris Sims has called. So, for example, he was higher on Lamar Jackson than anyone else. Had him as the number one quarterback in 2018. He was on to Justin Herbert, Josh Allen when it wasn't popular to do so. I respect Chris Sims' quarterback takes. It's some of the other takes during the middle of the season that I don't necessarily love too much.
You gotta watch out, Cody, because he's not breaking down tape on every single team. Like not enough. Like he's not. He has to cover all 32. There's not enough time in his day for him to sit there and cover. Like,
well, I mean, let's be honest, guys. Wait a
minute, guys. I've messed up. The guy I'm talking crap about, it's not Chris Sims. Chris Sims was the guy that's on Pro Football Talk a lot.
Yeah,
it's Matt Sims I'm talking about. My mistake. It's Matt.
I don't even know who that is.
He's the younger brother of Chris Sims. Like I said, if you Google him, for those who don't know, he really failed as a quarterback in college, and he wasn't even drafted. And nobody even. I think one team signed him and run him through training camp once, but that's it. So, but
I mean, I've never been fond of the media to begin with, but to be honest, giving them credit a little bit.
Yeah.
As Panther fans, when was the last time we were actually this excited and actually thought that we could actually compete this year? Like what other year? Because I mean, it's I can't remember the last time I felt like we actually had this much talent and that we could do anything with the talent that we've got. So the media, if us as Panther fans weren't even like very convinced that we could do anything any of these years at the media, much less, but they're picking up with the talent that we've got now, just like we are. And it's like, wait a minute, we could actually do something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, like us as Panther fans, we're excited about this season and what has the opportunity to go down. So, I guess we can't be unfair when the media also looks at what we're doing and says, Carolina can be a good team. And listen, credit to Chris Sims. I mean, not Sims, Rich Eisen. He said, could the Panthers be a 7 seed? It's not like he predicted us to win the South or anything like that. But there are people that think that we could make a playoff push. And I don't think they're wrong. I don't know. I try not to be superstitious. I don't want to think that someone's jinxing us. But I don't know. I'm just really not used to the media being complimentary of the Panthers. What say y'all, man?
Yeah, I mean, high expectation sometimes puts a little bit of pressure. So I mean, it's like, it's one of those things where like we haven't been on national media like talked about because, I mean, quite frankly, we've been pretty bad for the last, I don't know, it's probably been 6-7 years. I think we haven't had a playoff berth for 7 years. So I don't mind it. I think at least it's going noticed that we have been making the right moves to finally start winning some football. Because I mean, quite frankly, since we when we got hired Matt Rule and like the Tepper and everyone came in, it kind of went downhill. So it feels like we're trending upward, which is a good thing. And maybe Rich is kind of seeing that.
Yeah.
Well, the Panthers found a way to feel the need that nobody thought we would be able to feel. Like we sat here in the offseason and we debated it and discussed it over and over about solving the problem of who's going to be the Carolina Panthers X. And what did they do? They faked everybody out and they drafted their X at number 8 overall, which nobody thought they were going to do. So that had to be the start of the glazing to talk about it, or the donuts, and all of this hype talk. And because it's not just this one clip. It was Pat McAfee. It was Mina Kimes. It was
Kay Adams.
Kay Adams was another one. And there was probably 2 or 3 more. And this has been over the span of a couple of weeks. So this has been going on for a while, and I think it's all because we solved those problems in the draft. We solved the X problem because we couldn't trade for one. We couldn't pick up one in free agency. We went those routes that didn't happen, and now we landed Tatura McMillan, which solves the problems, which allows Excel to grow at his natural number 2 position and allows Adam Thielen to work as the 3. Which C-Dog was right when he said that earlier. We do mostly come out with 3 wide receiver sets, but that was because we were giving up 500 yards a game and we had to pass constantly. So in that running backfield, they've been praising the backfield, saying that it's going to be top 5 in the NFL. And if you look at the numbers from last season, you would have to believe that's true, especially with the same offensive line coming back, the same coaches for the offensive line coming back, the same system. Nothing's changing. Like, we haven't even had that in a couple seasons. So it's really a nice breath of fresh air to be going into something that's kind of familiar for probably the players as well. And I have to think that getting this kind of attention does put that pressure on the players, like Alex was saying. They do have to perform, and a lot of weight is on McMillan's shoulders. And what I don't like about it is getting all the fans convinced that we're going to the playoffs this soon. It's still June, damn it, but we haven't lost a game yet, so don't get me wrong, we ain't lost a game. But it's still June. We can't be dead set that we're going to the playoffs when we're hoping that our rookie adjust well to the NFL in the first couple games of the season. Because what's going to happen is say we have a bad show in those first 3 weeks and we don't score much points, we walk away with it with 1 touchdown or maybe a couple field goals or something. Everybody's going to be in the dumps if we get too high up about this. And that's why I don't like that much of media attention on us, because it gets all of us convinced that we're finally back. But we're not back. We're on the way back, and it's a different conversation. It's a different expectation for this year.
Yeah, you don't want the media to build us up to let us down. I feel that too. Go ahead, Pop.
But I do want to say what Deez would add on to what Deez was saying, because as he named off those players and things of that nature, he never mentioned Bryce Young, who has the hottest seat out of all of those guys that he named. He has the hottest seat. So I'm curious to wonder, because I don't mind the media getting behind in it, because basically to me what he was saying, like, hey, you got all this talent. I mean, you should be able to show something for it, right? That's what we're all hyped about. We're all hyped about all this talent that we got. Yeah. That your QB should be able to do something with, because Cam never had that much talent. The Holmes didn't have that much talent around him. Any other quarterback that we've ever had in our history has never had this much talent or you know what I'm saying, firepower that you can absolutely destroy teams with. So I'm curious of what y'all expectations are. What number of wins would y'all be okay with, to be like, okay, that was cool?
I want to say this, because I know you mentioned that Delhomme and these guys didn't have this much talent, but these guys are all young. They haven't proved anything to me yet. So like, I kind of disagree. They had Steve Smith. So I mean, I know Cam had him at the tail end, but Cam also had Greg Olsen. He had some guys. He also, on the defensive side, he had Luke Kuechly. The team's really young, so I don't want to say like yes, Bryce needs to take another step forward from last year. I think he needs to, like, those last 10 games look great. I want to see it like this season. And I really do think it's going to happen. This is the first year where Bryce Young is back with his head coach, back with the same OC. Like, we're going to see, like, you know, somewhat like where he's going to be comfortable. Because a lot of times, like, with the whole turnover with coaches and OCs and quarterbacks and all that, like, it's tough. You got to, like, have some continuity, and I feel like we finally have it. So he does have to take a step forward, though, for sure.
Yeah. So what's your number?
Like, what's my, like, for stats or what? Or
no, as far as
wins,
you walking away, what's your ceiling? What's your floor? As far as the floor would be, okay, we walk away with this amount of wins, I'm cool. Not saying you're predicting what the schedule is going. I mean, what the record's going to be. Just saying, okay, we hit this right here, I'm cool. But if we get more than this, I'm even better.
The floor is 7 for me, and then the ceiling to me is 10. So if it's above that, that's that's a great season. But I mean, like, yeah, 7 to 10, 7's the floor to me. We had 5 wins last year. If we get a couple more wins and we're like knocking on the door for a playoff berth, like for a wild card, to me, that's a step in the right direction.
You signing Bryce with 7 wins?
I mean,
Nope.
I'm not. But then again, we got to see how the season goes because the defense was 32nd last year. The defense was dead last year. So we got to that side of the football needs to step up a little bit more. If you ask me,
I'm not even trying to cut you off, but to be honest with you, I separate the two. I've done told everybody it's going to take 2 to 3 years to fix that defense. So I'm not worried about the defense per se. With all the acquisitions that we've gotten on offense, I got to see something.
I mean,
You know what? I'm gonna be.
Cincinnati was like, I mean, they played pretty well, but they didn't have a defense, and like it was the same thing.
And they almost made the playoffs. Look, I'm gonna chime in.
Joe Cool with 4,500 yards and 40-something touchdowns.
No, that's cool, but you still got to win. You got to make it. They didn't make it.
So I'm gonna chime in on this, Pop. People might think that I'm maybe making this number a little bit too high, but I don't give a damn, bro. I want 10 wins.
No, that's what I was going to say.
I want 10 wins because you know what? I'm tired of doing this. Oh, well, we won 2 more games than last year, and then everyone's just okay with that. And then it still means that we're not making waves in the playoffs. Like, I'm going to be real. I don't even know if 8 wins, like we all say the division isn't going
to get to the playoffs.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We don't even know if that's really going to be enough to get you there. I want 10.
You got to get 9.
You have to get 9, but I want 10 because that lets me know that Bryce is a winning quarterback that can get us into double-digit wins, and it lets me know that our defense is trending in the right direction. I don't think it's unfair to say 10 wins and anything below that unless it's 9. 9 or 10 wins is the floor, in my opinion. If we're not doing that, it's not that much of a jump to me.
You gotta get 9, I believe, to get the wild card. But if we lose 2 of the first 3 games, I'm out, bro.
I need 10 wins, and some of them losses better be real close, because if they walk out with the 7-win season, I'm gonna be extremely disappointed because they surely didn't do all this just to get 7 wins. Okay,
yeah,
and that
for me.
That includes my personal. That includes the defense has to look better. They have to look the part. If the defense come in and they look lost like they've been looking, there's no way this offense can carry you into wins.
Right.
There's just not going to be possible. And if that's the case, Evero's gone before week 5, and he should be gone. Once that happens, then you're starting your defense all over again.
I can't put everything on Bryce's shoulders when the defense gives up 45 points. I just can't.
I'm not. And if Bryce looks the part, but he just can't win because of bad defense, I can't blame all that on Bryce and Canales. I think I with all due respect to everybody, and I mean no disrespect.
That's what I'm agreeing with Pickle. That's what I'm saying. I'm breaking it up. Because I know the defense is going to take 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
But the offense has to be, has to be the motor right now.
So that's what I want to ask you. What's
and
your
a lot of
number
Panther
for
fans
Bryce?
have never seen that. For as a Carolina Panther fan, we've never seen the offense be the motor.
So, Pickle, let me ask you, what's your number for wins? And then we'll go to Michael.
Okay. In my opinion, as far as to call this a successful season or because if I'm strictly talking about quarterback, then I don't have a number because I got to know how Bryce plays. If Bryce plays the part, but the defense just can't even stop a nosebleed, then I'm going to put the blame where it belongs. But if Bryce screws it up, then it's on Bryce. But even if Bryce screws up, and don't look the part. To me, for people to say Bryce has to go, y'all, he has to look extremely bad to be shown the door.
Yeah, that's what I'm
David
saying.
Canales is going to have to look extremely bad to be shown the door. That's
Yeah,
just fact of it.
And by the way, yeah,
If we have a 5-win season next year, I believe Bryce and Davis Canales are back next year.
yeah, and like I want to highlight this comment. Sideshow says if we don't get 10 wins, who goes coach or quarterback? And really, it's not even that simple because, like Pickle said, if our offense looks really good, well, then you're not getting rid of either of them because the offense ran well, and that was because of your offensive head coach and your quarterback, Bryce Young, that you invested so much into. So it's not really that cut and dry. However, I do think if the offense falters between those two, then it's probably the quarterback more than it is the coach. Remember that Canales didn't pick Bryce Young. So maybe he does want a quarterback of his own if Bryce doesn't work out. But we don't want to put the cart before the horse. Also, shout out to White Chocolate Espresso being a drama queen, saying if the Panthers goes 10 years, he's not going to be a fan. Shut the hell up, Kevin. Just like Pickle tells you. Shut the hell up. Kevin's not going nowhere. He's just being an emotional Gamecocks fan. That's what they're used to being. Don't mind him. He'll be over it shortly. Michael, what say you? How many wins do you want to see from the Panthers this year, bro?
Closet.
Wow. Wow, I had all my points taken away from me, but if I had to guess, okay, I would probably say maybe 8-9 wins tops, and my ceiling would be at least 11 to 12.
Okay. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. I think that's what a lot of people are hoping for. And by the way, you already see Kev. He said if Bryce screws up, then welcome sellers to the I thought you but hold on, Kev. I thought you wouldn't be a Panthers fan if they went 10 years without a winning season, bro. So which one is it, man? Come on, dude.
Pop, I wanted to ask Pop real quick because I need to know what his not wins or losses. I want to know from the offensive side what you need to see from Bryce that is going to make you let's just say they do get 8 wins. They go 8-9. Let's just go from there. What do you have to see from Bryce to be like, all right, this is our guy?
Number one is better footwork. He has very unorthodox footwork. He actually has admitted to it that the way the traditional step back to get your throws out the traditional way, he doesn't do it because he looks at it from his. I don't know why he does it, but it's because of Aaron Rodgers. The way that Aaron Rodgers does his step back, he has mimicked his same style.
Yeah.
And it's get the ball out faster, but it's not really the traditional way of how you learn to be a quarterback. You are not Aaron Rodgers. You cannot do the same thing that Aaron Rodgers has done, and he's a Hall of Famer. Going to be a Hall of Famer. So that is one thing I wish he would fix is his footwork. I wanted to be better. I want him to get the ball out a little bit earlier too because he holds the ball too long for me. I went back and looked at some tape, and the people knocked Xavier Legette a lot, but Xavier Legette was open a lot of times, and Bryce did not throw him the ball.
Yeah,
he didn't climb up in the pocket when he was supposed to, and maybe because he was in his head. Now this is later on in the season when he was playing better. I'm not talking about the beginning. I'm talking later down in the season. He was still doing some things that were just bad habits of his. And I don't know if you can break those type of habits because that same thing happened with Cam. I don't know if y'all remember when they were trying to retool Cam's mechanics and how he was delivering the ball and things of that nature. It's like we're almost doing the same thing with Bryce. as well, or they're just going to let it flow because when you're doing most quarterbacks do like a 7-step back or a 5-step back. He's doing 9 just because you can't see the line. So that means our offensive linemen have to be athletic. Those guys the rushers have to come at least 10 yards to get to Bryce. And if Bryce is holding on the ball that long, which is I've seen all the way up to 4 seconds, you still haven't thrown the ball with 4 seconds with the ball in your hand. That's a problem. So I need him to like pick it up with his time clock. So there's multiple things I need for him to do. For me to be like, okay, I see what's going on. I did see some things that he did, like taking off what he needed to take off. Out there, you know what I'm saying, taking a shot when he took shots. But that's what all quarterbacks should be doing. You know, you putting your team on your back at times. You know, playing like a warrior. But I just need to see more consistency with him getting the ball out earlier, fixing his footwork, and just lay it out on the line, man. Like, hey, what do you got to lose? You went
definitely
you won 2 games the year before, you won 5. I mean, like, play free, play football, bro.
That's it. And you made a great point with the footwork because, you know, this is one of the reasons he wasn't my number 1 quarterback coming out of college. Like, I felt he was a little bit toesy. Like he was throwing from the tips of his toes rather than really planting and driving. But I did notice that down the stretch last year, he did start to get better in that timing and in the rhythm. And I do think him working out in the offseason with the wide receivers and with the tight ends, that is hopefully going to help him to be able to hit the ground running as soon as this year starts. But I agree, man. Like, I think that he's continued to work and continued to get better. That's all I can ask of him. But like I've said before, I just need him to prove it. I need him to prove it. I need him to prove himself to be that quarterback that we all think that he is and that he can be.
And one more thing.
Yeah, man.
And this is what I loved about Cam. I'm not asking everybody to be like Cam, because there's other quarterbacks I can throw out there too. Man, just be yourself when you get up there on that microphone, bro. Don't say super 5,000 times. Man, you just, be a more, intentional, but showing your personality. But, bro, like, be you, man. Like, we're not asking you to be the robot. That's sometimes I can't stand his press conferences.
Yep. I hear it, man. I hear it. Hey, let me welcome in my brother from another mother, C3 Anthony, back on the free for all. Ant, what's up, dude?
What's up, boys? How y'all doing?
Chilling, man. What's going on, dude?
Just working right now. Nothing much.
I can't hear Anthony.
Just working. Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Now you're good.
Yeah, man. So, Ant, we've talked about it a lot now, but you can jump in on whatever you want, man. Bryce in year 3. I also asked who has the highest potential out of any wide receiver in this room. What do you make of the tight end room? You can answer any of those you want to in any order you want, bro.
All right. I think I'll just start with the wide receiver. I think T-Mac has the highest potential. I mean, I'm not going to go into the depth why, but I think it's pretty obvious, honestly. Second thing is, like I said, I believe in Bryce. I think Bryce is going to have a good year. I think essentially what we saw last season was who he can be as a quarterback, and we know he's capable of playing good. So I think it's just like he's got the system now, and he's got the supporting cast to be consistent. The tight end room, I think it's pretty average. But again, like last Friday, I don't think Canales really involves the tight ends as much as people think. I can't remember that. I think that was it for the questions. But yeah, I'm pretty high. I mean, I'm not putting a ceiling on the team, but I said multiple times I like most of the things we did this offseason. So, I mean, the team should be good at some point, right? At some point, they should be good, and there's no reason why it can't be this year.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, let me welcome in my dog, G Baby, back in the motherfucking his house. What's up, dude?
What's Gucci with you dogs, man?
Chilling, brother. Hey man, I want to get you in on the conversation we started earlier. Out of what wide receiver on the roster has the highest potential, bro? Let me hear it.
That has the highest potential.
Yep.
I mean, you want me to be honest?
No, I want you to lie to me, bro. Of course, I want you to be honest.
I want you to be realistic.
I got a few people. I got I'm gonna say obviously Jalen Coker. Obviously, I have to throw Nola in there. I have to. And then my last person's got to be Jimmy Horn, dog. I feel like Jimmy Horn's our Deshaun Jackson of this fucking team. That is Deshaun Jackson reincarnated, man. Jimmy Horn's gonna make a big impact on this fucking team, man.
Okay.
And that's why I don't have Hunter Renfro making the damn team. I don't think David Moore is making this team. I don't see it. And if any of them do make it, if it's David Moore or Hunter Renfro, I'm going to take David Moore over Hunter Renfro. I just am.
All right. I mean, you're allowed to be wrong, but you know, it's cool.
AG, so you're not. So you and me are kind of in the same boat about. Actually, no, we're really not. But like, you don't think Leggett can get better at all?
Hell fucking no, hell no, bro.
Wild.
That's not an NFL wide receiver, bro. It's not.
What is it?
Look at the highlight reels of him even catching the ball. He's double clutching the fucking ball still. He's not catching the ball clean, bro. He's not a natural hand catch wide receiver. He's not, bro. He's not, man. And I told myself, hey, I gave Jonathan Mingo 2 years, and I told myself I will give XL 2 years as well. But his ass is grass after this season, bro.
I can't wait for him to prove you wrong.
He ain't gonna do shit, Pop. He ain't, bro.
Gee, baby, are you really giving him 2 years? If you're already
giving him 2
saying,
years.
but how you're already saying that he's not an NFL wide receiver. So how is that giving him 2 years?
Because I wasn't high on Jonathan Mingo coming in to the draft. I didn't even have him on my board, but I was gracious enough to give Jonathan Mingo 2 years, and then after that, his ass was grass. So I'm giving this guy right here 2 years, and after this, his ass is fucking grass, bro.
But the difference between the two of them is Mango never deserved it, and XL does.
What has XL done for you, Cody? What the fuck has XL done for you? It's like drop balls.
Dude, he was
big
open.
time balls.
He was open.
Look, double catching the fucking ball, bro. He's not a natural hand catcher, Cody. He's not, bro. He's not getting better, G.
Good job. Hey, good job. That's cool.
Bam.
Come on. Ooh, come on. Ooh, that's good. Now.
Bro, I think he has more athleticism than Ted McMillan. And listen, shout out to D's. I'm not trying to put down any one over the other, but like I said, I do believe that, like I said before the draft, XL has number one wide receiver potential. And hey, bro, this cripple stands on that. I'm for real.
Now that I don't agree with.
Why not?
Because listen, I looked at the data, man, and you guys know Alex. We did this exercise, man. Wide receivers that have less than 500 yards their rookie season turn out to be wide receiver 2 guys, wide receiver 3 guys, man. The data just isn't in his favor. I'm sorry.
So hold on. What's wrong with him being a number 2? I
never said there was anything wrong with that. Cody just asked. Cody said he has wide receiver 1 potential, and I said I don't agree with that. I never said he could be the 2. That's what we should all be hoping for.
But my question, Anthony, are you judging Xavier Leggett, or are you judging Xavier based on what a bunch of other men couldn't or didn't do?
Cody, did you not watch last season?
Hold on, G. I'm judging Xavier Leggett based on my own evaluation because personally, I was not that high on him coming out of college.
So Anthony, did you watch all 32 of all the throws and plays that he all the catches and drops he's had already? Have you watched them? and routes he
Yeah,
ran?
I mean, I'd like to say I've watched like most of the film. I mean, I'm not a
So how many of those were underthrown, overthrown, and uncatchable balls did you see?
That's a great question.
How many of those hit his hands and he dropped the fucking ball,
hold
Pop?
on.
Hold on, let me get him, Ant. Let me get him, Ant. How many of those balls hit his hands, Pop?
G-Baby, I can answer that. He had 9 drops last year.
And that's not a big deal to you? He's a first-round wide receiver. Do you know how many drops Jalen Coker had?
Devontae Adams had the same amount too, if not more.
We're not talking about Devontae Adams. We're talking about Xavier Legette, G.
No.
We're talking about Xavier Legette, G.
That's a good point, though.
I'm comparing a first-round pick to another first-round pick who had the same amount of drops, if not more.
How many drops did Jalen Coker have, Pop?
Devontae Adams is not a first-round pick, by the way.
Hey, how many drops did Jalen Coker have, Pop?
Are we talking about first-round picks?
Hey, we're talking about an undrafted fucking rookie that came in and outperformed a first-round rookie, bro. That's what we're talking about, Pop. A first-round rookie that had 9 drops and an undrafted guy that had 0 drops.
Fine. But at the end of the day, I'm not about to sit here and put him down compared to the same scenario or this, that, and other, because I'm giving you the same situations as far as somebody who elevated a game that it can happen, that you can have. He wasn't a most dropped wide receiver last year. So if he like how we had history last year, we was the worst defense. He wasn't the worst wide receiver last year, and he didn't have the most drops last year. So let's stop putting him in that type of box. And so
was he a first-round wide receiver, though, Pop? He was a first-round wide receiver.
That's why I gave you Devontae Adams.
You are judging him.
Devontae Adams was not a first-round.
But here's the deal, though. Y'all are judging him based off of his first year in the NFL. And what pisses me off, G, is you kept on calling Bryce Young King Bryce and all this other horse shit when he was fucking god-awful. He was given a bag of food and was told to make a 5-course meal. And that's facts, Cody. That's facts. He had multiple head coaches. He had multiple coordinators. What are we talking about here? Why don't you have the same energy? Why don't you have the same
those are not excuses. Those are pure facts.
Yeah,
those are facts. That's what happened. That's what happened, bro. Is that head coach that we started with? Is he still here, Cody?
No.
Where's Frank Reich at?
That rule was not.
He's gone. Where's Josh McCown at? He's fucking gone.
So what do they have to do with Xavier Legette?
Right.
I'm just answering the question that fucking Cody asked me a question. I answered the question, bro. Xavier Legette has not improved, and he's not going to improve, bro. And that's facts, dude.
You don't know that he won't improve until this coming season.
G-Baby, did Matt
It's happened to a countless NFL players that drafted the first round all the way to the 7th and undrafted guys. Then they suck their first year or two. Then after that, they pick it up and they play a lot better. You know that, G.
Let me ask you this,
Stop
G-Baby.
acting like you don't.
Let me ask you this, G-Baby. Did Frank Reich make Bryce Young an inaccurate passer in year 1?
Hey, Frank Reich was the fucking worst play caller in fucking NFL history. Calling hitch routes. Do we not fucking forget how bad of a play caller Frank Reich was?
Hold on, G, let me back you up. Because Cody,
color and book shit.
We all know, everyone should know by now, Bryce Young, hater, believer, truther, whatever, that Frank Reich and that staff completely broke his confidence. I mean, the kid was in a lose-lose situation. It's a bad example.
Boys.
If you're asking me, though, my position is coming exactly where the Bryce haters were coming last year. Like, even though I defended Bryce Young, I still admitted many times he didn't play up to what I thought he was going to play.
Yeah, and XL should have cost those balls.
Yeah, well, it's not just the ball. I'm just talking from my personal evaluation. Listen, they just took a receiver 8th overall. I told you, I don't buy what Canales says. I don't think Legette is going to be the number 1 option in the offense at any point in time.
Hell no.
Look, my thing is this.
So we could drop the ball on fucking 1st and 10.
My thing is this: Bryce Young can be a good player this year, but the only thing why I'm even pointing it out is Bryce Young was fucking terrible. No matter what excuses you want to make, he was terrible. And if you're going to tell me that XL was terrible, then he can also turn it around and be a really good wide receiver in this system. And by the way, even if the Cincinnati Bengals did not pay T. Higgins this year, somebody was going to make T. Higgins a number one wide receiver. I view XL in a very similar light. That he was also going to have number one potential and the ability to be a number one, even if it isn't with the Panthers.
Bro, you don't even believe that in your heart, dog.
Yes,
Stop
I
it,
do.
Cody. No, you don't.
Yes,
No, the fuck
I
you
do.
don't, bro. I
Yes,
know you
I
don't.
do.
I think
Yes, I do.
Context. Y'all are missing context. We went after. We tried getting multiple number ones before.
Multiple.
So, like, what does that fucking tell you, though? Like, I'm telling you, Dave Canales is very, like, his actions speak louder than words. Don't believe a single thing that dude says on the podium. Just believe how the team moves. All right? Like, if we got DK Metcalf, Xavier Legette probably would be getting the third most targets on this team upcoming this year, because there's still Adam Thielen still going to get the ball. Like, I'm telling y'all, I get it. I'm not saying I'm out on the player. I'm just telling y'all what his projection, in my opinion, is going forward. He should get better. He had less than 500 yards last year. Like, it's a low bar. Like, he should get better this year.
Y'all want to
play
glaze this motherfucker. Shit.
All right.
Yeah, listen, I don't. You know, to me, XL should play better because he's not facing the number one receiver corner. Okay, depending on if they line up in 3 sets, depending on who plays the slot, he may not even get the number 2 corner. So by all rights, he should play better that way. Now, that being said, if he struggles right out of the gate, I don't think he will. But if he does, they're not going to play dilly-dally with him. I think they'll pull him off to the bench and put somebody else in.
Yeah.
It may not even be for a game or two, but I think it'll happen if he struggles. I also think it's the same for every player in that league that struggles. And not to turn the tide or make anybody upset, but if Jalen Coker don't come out exactly like he did last year, it's possible that he may not make it. 53, or I think he will, though. I really, my players to make that 53 wide receiver rise, I believe they'll keep 6 receivers, and I believe XL, T-Mac, Adam, Horn, Coker, and I believe Renfro will be the 6th. But I also believe special teams comes hither. I believe whether, my man Cody may not like it, but I believe if Adam, Renfro, and Coker are all playing okay, and they need a speedy guy other than that, somebody got to hang out in the back. Somebody got to, and if I'm the Panthers and that's the 6 I'm keeping, I'm in great shape. But at the same time, I think XL is going to be all right by the process of not facing the top corners. I don't think he's a number 1 receiver. I never thought he was. And listen, it wouldn't shock me in some NFL systems, he may not even be a number 2. And I think he has to prove that. It's not up to anybody here. It's not even up to the coaches. It's up to him and him alone. He has to go on that field on game day. You can make it pretty on practice. Kerry Colbert used to make every practice look great. Go out on the field and suck ass.
Yep, exactly.
Drew Carter used to be the same damn way. They made it look great in practice, and on the field they sucked ass. It don't matter how you look in practice. It matters how you get on that field and look. When you're facing competition.
That guy that you just talked about is a guy that we traded back into the first round to draft. I just thought I would.
Kerry Colbert, we got in a second.
No, I'm talking about XL. I just want to let you know that.
We did. We did, and I'm gonna say this. And I don't give a damn if anybody likes it. To me, that was a mistake by Dan Morgan. I thoroughly believe that. I love Dan Morgan to death. I loved him as a player. I love him as a GM. Well, but he's going to make some mistake as he learns what he's doing. I think that was one of them.
But thing is, though,
he traded back in there to get that 5th-year option. Let's always remember that. Right. He just to get that 5th-year option, he knew when he drafted XL that he was wrong.
And doesn't that benefit us more having that 5th-year option?
Yes, it does.
Right, it definitely does. But Like all of these
Yeah,
are gonna come
for trade compensation to
But
give
listen,
another team to let them know,
all of-
hey, maybe
Oh,
you got to
I
fix your
think
option.
they're ready to keep him long term and
all of
develop.
these, listen, a lot of people might say that the worst trade the Panthers have ever made was up for Bryce Young. But nobody can say that yet because we have not had enough time to see it pan out. It might
Dude, I've
be-
seen
it
more
might be-
than enough from fucking King Bryce. I don't know what the fuck y'all
honestly,
smoking.
honestly, the third
Bryce
year
Young
is
ain't
always
going
a-
nowhere, bruh.
Let me throw this at you. Let me throw this at you. Was Jared Judy a first round pick?
He was.
He had 13 drops.
13. And he's and he's the number one for the Browns right now.
Okay. Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
Was he a first round pick?
Yeah, top 10.
He had 9 drops.
Damn, that's just as many.
What
as
were his numbers? What were his numbers? Stop with the bullshit, Pop. Stop it, dog. Stop, G.
No. You're complaining about his drops. That is the
Right.
subject. Do not sit here and try to throw other avenues in this because there was nobody who got over 1,000 yards. Neither did your boy Coker. So you stop it.
Hold on. How many yards did Neighbors have, Pop?
Let me continue.
How many yards did he have, Pop?
Let me continue because that's not the point of the subject.
Yeah, it is the point because he had over 1,000 yards. Pop, stop.
None of our wide receivers got over 1,000 yards. So if you're gonna throw stones, make sure you're hitting the right house.
That's right.
Once again, Jaden Reed. He was a second round pick. 9 drops. Oh, what about Jamar Chase? First round pick, right? 9 drops. So y'all kill me with this. You trying to sit here and make this able to get sacrificial lamb when this
crazy.
other first round picks. Hold on, I'm
drops weren't even essential.
There's other first round picks that have the same issues. It's not that big of a deal. Stop sitting here killing this man when he was. Matter of fact, he wasn't even supposed to be right out there right away. To be honest with you, because who was supposed to be our number one? Who's not here anymore?
Deontay
Johnson.
Thank you. So he had to go play outside of his position.
And read this comment. And read this comment by Alex. Neighbors was targeted 170 times versus only 80 for XL.
80 times.
That matters.
Thank you. That matters. How many targets do you
He
get?
had 1,400 yards.
How many targets?
XL had under 400. What are we talking about here?
How many chances do you get to get the ball? It makes a lot of difference. But it still doesn't matter.
Pop, and let me counter that, Pop. He was a number one wide. He was the only option. And you know what that lets me know? You're the only option, and you can still get 1,400 yards. Yeah, okay, bro.
Like, the
stop.
only option.
No, Malik Neighbors is the only option in New York.
He's the only option there.
He's the only option.
Neighbors was also selected number 6 overall. XL was drafted, what, 31?
32.
32?
He's still a first round fucking wide receiver.
Hold on.
If you're gonna have the same smoke for him, have it for everybody, bro. Stop it. We're the only franchise to sit here and fuss about it, and he's not nearly getting as many targets. These other guys are dropping the ball too. He's not the most.
No, but
so get off his case.
I'm telling
you. Go ahead, Anthony. Go ahead.
Pop, what has XL done for you, G?
Hold on, G.
Hold on, G. Baby.
What the?
Hold up, G.
I never once mentioned the drops as my central. I never once mentioned the drops as my central talking point as to why I'm not high on the kid. I told you it's data.
I'm not saying you, Anthony. I'm not saying you, Anthony. I'm not saying.
Okay. But let's get something straight though. I get it. You mentioned those receivers that had those drops the same as XL. But to G Baby's point, those dudes had 1,000 more yards than XL did. And I get it. Neighbors would
draft 100 more targets thrown at them too.
I get that. And there's a reason why. Because those guys are better players than Xavier Legette is. That's what we're trying to get to. Like,
oh no. Maybe they had a better quarterback. How about
that? So
that shows that our head coach is smarter than the Giants head coach, if you ask me. That shows our GM is smarter than the Giants GM because he actually had other receivers other than one rookie alone.
Read that comment from my boy Alex. We also had a quarterback who
Chill out.
had a fear of throwing the ball more than 4 yards for 10 games last season.
That's such fucking false. That's such a
That's
fucking
what
false
I'm
statement,
saying.
bro.
That shit.
Hey, give XL all the targets, give him all the balls, and I promise he has double the amount of drops. He'll have double the amount of
He
drops.
also had a foot
Let's
surgery.
remind who the Giants quarterback is. They had Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, and Tommy D. That's who they had.
Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, Tommy DeVito played in 3 games. No, I'm not missing the point. The point of the matter is, you throw Bryce out there, and you're right. For 4 games, that Bryce was having issues on the field, and he was benched, and he got better and threw out there. The Giants went to 3 for 3 different quarterbacks. Neighbors had a lot of yards. He sure did, because he was the only one to throw to.
Yep.
That tells me that the Giants head coach who plays the calls is massively overrated.
And bro, like I'm being
Your GM
reasonable.
is a fucking bust.
Let me say that I'm being reasonable, bro. I'm not telling anyone that XL was perfect. I'm not telling anyone that he doesn't need to be better in year 2. He absolutely does. But I'm just not going to hold this double standard where we have to make an assessment on one player in 1 year, and then that has to be your cut and dry opinion. Like, that's just not
They don't do it with Bryce.
Hey, that's fine,
Yeah,
Cody.
that's what I'm
Training camp is right around the corner, bro.
Yes,
Hey,
it
so
is.
everything, they ain't gonna be able to fucking lie or ignore or none of that. The training camp is right around the corner, and we gonna see with our own goddamn eyes, bro. And if he's still double clutching the ball, he's still dropping the ball in training camp, bro. That's all I need to fucking see. Because he should be improving, bro.
We are going to see.
And I agree with J Baby right there. I believe in Dave Canales. Dave Canales had the cojones. We probably made him a head coach 1 year early. And he had the cojones to come in here and saw 2 games from Bryce Young. And what did he do? He put him on the bench. He said, you're not playing. You're not playing good. You're not going to be on the field.
Yep.
And if he had the courage to do that to Bryce Young, don't you feel like he would do the same thing to XL? He would. Yes. He would absolutely. If you look at this coaching staff, we are loaded with guys that have coached wide receivers in the NFL for a long freaking time. You got Canales, and now he did a lot of years at wide receiver coach. Now he's the head coach. You got our offensive coordinator, Idzik. Now he did a lot of years at wide receiver coach, and now he's the offensive coordinator. And then you got Rob Moore, who's got 20 years of NFL experience. These guys are If we have any wide receivers on this team that don't develop and grow, something is seriously wrong. It should be our freaking strong point. We should have wide receivers developing everywhere. And I think Jalen Coker is a good indication of that because he broke Philly Brown's record for most yards as a UDFA in the rookie season. And that tells you everything you need to know right there. We are going to develop wide receivers. They are going to get better. And if they don't perform, guess what? There's a lot of competition in the room, and then it's next man up. So I trust this coaching staff. I know we're going to argue about it. We all have our favorites, and that's fine. But moving forward, my trust is in Dave Canales in this second year as him being a head coach.
Well said, dudes. Yo, Canales is going to hold these men to a higher standard. He showed it last season. I believe he'll show it this season, too. But you know what? That's a great segue.
Real quick, let's also remember Brad Idzik and Dave Canales decide which wide receiver is good and which wide receiver is second or third or fourth, not the fans. If the end of training camp, he decides XL's number 2 and Coker's number 3, the fans have to accept that because that's how the head coach did. You may not like it because you may not have saw what you wanted, but there's a reason why you're the fan and he's the head coach making all that money.
But Pickle, didn't they just post saying that they able to get number 1 this week?
Oh, I didn't see that if they did.
Wait, what was it, Pop? What was it?
I seen it somewhere saying that Leggett was the number 1.
Oh, I told you
that was the tactic.
I would hesitate to believe anything reported like that this early.
That's hella early.
I mean, it's like me and G might go at each other on centers, but there's not a depth chart online I trust right now It's all
Yeah,
going
it's
to.
too early.
It's all going to happen at training camp.
It's all too
And
early.
however it happens, it happens.
But let me ask y'all this though. Cole, are you still with me, bro? You still in here, Cole?
Cole's
might be
in
away
here?
from my- Yeah, Cole's
Where's
in here.
Jake?
Was.
Can you
Where's
hear me,
Jake?
Cody?
Yeah,
Cody, can you hear me? Cody,
Yeah,
Cody,
what
can you hear me?
what up?
Cole, you've been here this whole time, G.
Yeah, I've been listening to this bullshit.
You haven't said one word, damn it. I didn't even know you was in here, dog. What's
I'm
Gucci?
chilling. What's up?
Oh, I'm gonna have you, since you're the one that posed the question in the C3 Legion Spaces. By the way, y'all follow Panther Pickle, Diesel Skills, C3 Cole. Follow them all on Twitter. They throw up spaces during the week. Great platforms for Panther discussion. But Cole, I'm gonna let you pose the question to the free for all that you posed in the spaces about Ejiro Evero. So throw it up there, bro.
This is coming from somebody that went over the edge in January when we said that we were going to retain Evero in the first place. But after the draft, I thought of this question, and I'm glad we brought it up on Spaces. Shout out to the boys for hosting that. But what do y'all need to see from Ejiro Evero to be comfortable with giving him potentially a contract extension or him being good enough to stay here? Is that possible at all?
Yes, it is, Cole.
Ooh, can I go first? Ooh, me.
All right, I'm next after Pop.
I got Pop and Dingy Baby.
All right. The first thing I need to see is let your best player line up against the best player. Prime example, I need to see $100 million corner
Yes.
go against their best corner.
Yes.
There should be no reason why you should be bickering and fighting and blitzing him in situations that he don't even use somebody else to blitz.
Yes.
Let Mike Jackson blitz. You're $100 million man. You paid him that much money to lock down one side of the field. Let him do it. He stay healthy. Y'all paid him. I don't want to see nothing else but that. Number two, I need to see in-game changes. What I mean by that is if they're coming out here doing this, when we go in for halftime, I want to see you making adjustments. Number three is I need him to be a little bit more aggressive. That's one thing that I liked about Steve Wilson. Steve Wilson is going to send that blitz. Now, I think he does have more acquired players that he can do his job a whole lot better. I understand that he lost a lot of talent, and we have acquired a lot of guys that can get the job done. I'm not saying this is going to be a top 10 defense, but I want us to go from somewhere from 32 to at least 22. And other than that, I'll be good.
That's fair.
That's fair. That's fair. J Baby, I said you can go next. Go ahead.
All right. I'm going to touch base on what Pop just said as far as JC traveling with the best wide receiver. But what I want to see is not to see our best edge rushers that should be rushing the fucking quarterback, dropping back into fucking zones and trying to fucking cover these quick, twitchy, fast slot receivers and wide receivers. That is stupid.
Amen, G baby.
That's stupid. And I would also like to see, let's throw some fucking 4-3 defense, in the game. Let's get some nickel packages and let's get our sub package in there, man. I have to see the run defense improve. And I've been saying this like crazy. I'm actually very, very, very worried about this defense. I'm worried about the back end of the fucking defense. I believe that this is the worst pass defense in all of football. Yes, we have JC Horn, but other than JC Horn, we don't have shit. JC Horn has shown me he can play a complete season, but he has also shown me that he is nicked sometimes. So if JC Horn, God forbid, goes down, we obviously don't want that. Who else is going to fill that position? We have no one else to take away the number one wide receiver, and that shit scares the hell out of me. As far as Morrig has never been, the best coverage safety. Latham, Ransom, he was never the best coverage safety at Ohio State. So yes, I'm very much worried about this fucking defense. So I would like to see the run defense improve. Obviously, the pass defense improve. Just the defense as a whole improve, and I believe it will. We got Big Grizzly, Derek Brown coming back. We picked up key free agents. We picked up two, projected, first round, and Princely and fucking Nick. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited, man. I really am, but I am also very, very worried because this is a passing league. And if this defense does not come to play, we're going to have to put up 28 plus points every fucking game. And it's just, I would like to, I don't even want to talk about going to the playoffs. I don't want to talk about Super Bowl. I don't even want to talk about winning the division. How about we focus on going 500, being a fucking 500 team? Because we haven't done that in a very, 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 very long fucking time, man.
Yes, sir. I'm going to go next, and then I'm going to let Michael Weidrich in. And I said this in the spaces, too. I want to see our rookies ball out. I feel like too often we never have the young guys jump out and have an incredible season. Well, listen, we literally got the guys that Ejiro Evero wanted. He wanted Nick Scorton. He wanted Princely Human. Before that, he wanted DJ Johnson. He hasn't gotten all the defensive players that he wanted. I want to see these dudes turn the fuck up. I don't think that's too much to ask. Michael, how about you, man? What would have you wanting to re-sign Ejiro Evero?
There's only one thing I want to say. I want to see this defense stomp the freaking grounds, hit the ground running, and beating the freak out of these teams, man. I'm sick and tired of people putting us down and saying, "Oh yeah, they're gonna be a last tier end of the defense." Nah, none of that. I want to see our players play their best football ahead of them. That's all I want to see. I don't want to hear no. Oh yeah, this player didn't do this very well, or oh this player didn't do that very well. I don't care. If you guys want to play football, expect to play football. That's what you're here for. Nothing else.
Let's go. Love that shit. We need some more. We need that energy on this team, bro.
Matt just dropped his nuts.
He dropped his nuts. Love that, Michael. These are
realistically, though, Cody, not to cut you off, though, dog. I don't think people are this defense scares the shit out of me, man. And I don't think people realize how thin we are in the secondary. Cody, let me ask you something, G.
You're right. This is the second Friday free for all that I agree with you. This is weird. Something good must be coming.
Let me ask you something, Cody. You're okay with starting Morrig and Ransom as your two starting safeties right now going into the season?
I don't love it. I would like to sign Justin Simmons. I don't think we will, though. I think the coaching staff likes Ransom and they like Damani Richardson. Now, I don't love Damani Richardson. I don't hate him, but I don't think he's a serviceable starter. I think that he's just a serviceable starter. Let's say that. But other than that, I really don't feel too strongly about anyone other than Trevon Moore. And I do think that Lathan Ransom has a perfect opportunity to start this year. And I think that there's a very high likelihood that he will start this year.
I actually like it, to be honest with you, with Morrig and Lathan Ransom. I actually like it. Especially because everyone plays a lot of zone. I really think that Latham kind of reminds me of what was our Super Bowl safety? I can't think of his name.
Kurt Coleman.
Don't you dare, Pop.
Kurt Coleman. Yeah.
In certain
I knew
ways,
you were gonna do that shit.
That was
G-Baby,
my
listen to me.
comparison too, Pop.
G-Baby, listen to me. In certain ways, I think Coleman has better coverage skills, but he can progress to get better at that because he played over 400 snaps, man, and as free safety. But so I mean that was last year. So he's gotten the time. But that was in zone. He does slack in man to man. But what I'm looking at him though, when he hits, I see him causing a couple of fumbles this year, bro. I just do.
Bro, he hits you with vengeance, dog. He does. He does.
It's talking about them light skinned guys that just they crash out.
No, yeah.
bro,
Let me
he's
ask you
playing
this though, real quick.
three
How
different
many? Do you remember how many interceptions Kurt Coleman had?
I think he had 4. Or was it more than that?
I think it wasn't it like 5 or 6.
Yeah, didn't he have 2 of them against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving? I know Luke had 2. He had 1.
No, Luke had 2. He had 1. He had that. He had the one where Luke tipped it.
Yeah, he tipped it. Yeah, I do agree though, G baby. We still don't have a ball hawking safety.
No, and that's why I wanted Javon Holland, man.
We do need
Man.
but that's what I said, G baby, earlier. We're about another year, if not a year and a half, where this defense is going to be nasty.
So let me go to Diesel skills real quick. This is the defensive coaches, and you and Pickle said that there were some changes. Is there anything you want to highlight amongst the coaching staff?
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff. This G Baby brought up a good point about these free agents. It's another cog in the wheel of this ongoing discussion about this defense and what it's going to do in the 2025 season. It's too much for me to break down in just like 2 or 3 minutes. Like we can't dig into the heart of this. But my question would be,
yes, you can. Go ahead. We listen. Go ahead, preach.
What we were saying is, what is it going to take to save Ejiro Evero as defensive coordinator? He needs an extension. What is it going to take to save him, right? And that's a good question. I don't know. He's in the last year of his contract. We gave up 31 points per game on average last season. So how was the offense going to win games giving up 31 points? We're just going to go out and score 40 every week? Is that the plan this year? Are we going to score 40 every week and the defense is going to give up 31? I don't think that's a plan that's going to work. I mean, the defense has got to get it down to around 20, right? The defense needs to be ranked in the NFL.
Boy, though, I don't think Evero's going anywhere, bro. I don't think he's going anywhere. It is because I feel like Dave Canales and fucking Ejiro Evero have like a genuine friendship, dog. Like I just feel that, bro.
Who fired the people on his staff? Because Tim Lukabu got canned and AC Carter comes in to coach these outside linebackers. If you look at this list of 8 players, 8 coaches, 3 of them coach linebackers. So you guys tell me then. Y'all break it down to me. Let me know what's going on because I don't understand who fired the coaches on Evero's staff. Was that Evero himself that said these guys need to go? I need new guys in the secondary. I need new guys coaching my linebackers. Or was that Dan Morgan that pulled it? Because I don't think it was Dave Canales.
I believe it was Dan Morgan.
We have 3 different linebacker coaches on this team. That's wild.
Right. I believe it was Dan Morgan. Evero didn't want to be here this past year. And he didn't want to be here the year before that. Okay, his first year he came here, then he wanted out every offseason since. I understand what G's saying that he don't think Evero gets fired. You don't have to fire Evero. His contract is up at the end of this season. He don't have to.
That's true.
We're going to have to give him money. And he made head coach money last time. I doubt seriously they're going to give him head coach money to stick around. Now, they could. It's David Tepper's money. It's not mine. It's the team. It comes out of his David Tepper's pocket. It doesn't come out of the team allowances. So it's up to Evero, or it's up to Evero if he wants to stay here or not. So, and the reality is, if the defense plays good enough, then maybe Evero wants to stay. Who knows? But I do like Ransom and Modric lining up together. I think that's an extremely strong run defending safeties. And I think if you're an offensive coordinator and you're going to run a sweep to the outside, you rethink that with them two there. Number two, though, Evero doesn't play enough man coverage to worry about a safety playing man coverage. I mean,
Okay.
at least wise he didn't last year. So,
no, that's a good point. We really don't do the man-to-man thing, so I think it does benefit us right now in the way that we are set up. And I agree with you, baby. Like, I do think Canales really has an appreciation for Ejiro Evero. But, you know, and I said this during the spaces too, Cole and Dees and Pickle, that, you know, this next season, we're not going to retain him anyway. Because if he's terrible and the defense is dog shit, we're not going to retain him. But in the same breath, if he's an incredible coach, then he's going somewhere else anyway, especially like Pickle said, since he's already making a very pretty penny. To me, it doesn't really matter what happens. Ejiro Evero is probably out the door no matter what.
Do we not get any compensation for this fool?
That I'm
his
not
contracts,
no, you do not. Not after his he's just right.
Oh,
Contract
hell
is up,
no.
You don't get nothing.
Oh, hell no, bro. Oh, I'm about to lose my shit. I'm about to lose my shit, bro.
We don't get nothing when his contract's up.
Oh, hell nah, bro. So we had to go through this misery of this fucking worst defense of all fucking time, and we don't get shit?
Right.
Nothing.
Yes.
D-Baby, that's why I disagree with this situation. Because if he comes out here and have a decent defense, like I said, from anywhere from 32, even if he gets up to like 25, they will extend him another contract. Because I do not think he's going to get hired anywhere to be a head coach. I think he'll get hired to be another defensive coordinator, which that might pleases him. But he's not going to get paid the same type of money from the second richest owner in the NFL. You're just not getting that nowhere. You're going to take a pay cut. You got to move your family somewhere else out of the Carolinas. You got to, start all the way over. That's a hard thing to do.
Right.
Take less money and still keep the same type of job and start all the way over in a different, situation. I just don't think he's going to become a head coach. I think he has to prove it. And if he's with that type of, lifestyle, he will want to sit here and want to prove it and get this defense right. Because he's going to be making top dollar money.
Well, why wouldn't he want to stay, though, Pop? He's picking all these fucking players, though, G.
Well, that's something that
he's picking his own fucking players, so why would he want to leave, G?
I can't confirm if he's the one right now after what our GM just said.
I know he's been a very big believer. He's been a very big proponent of most of the dudes that we've drafted, going all the way back to DJ Johnson.
So we're drafting Evero's players, and then when he leaves, his players are still here?
No, but that's the thing. Dan Morgan stuck his neck out there and said, "I didn't give him everything he needed." When your GM says that, that's what lets me kind of see the tea leaves saying, like, okay, you really want to help this defense, and you're taking it. There's not a lot of GMs that come out there and say stuff like that, bro. They're not,
bro. Bringing Evero to Carolina was probably one of the biggest mistakes in Panther history, bro.
I don't believe Evero wasn't even their top choice. He was like their third or fourth choice. It's everybody else turned us down. Now, I brought that up the other day here a while back in Spaces. Pop, you're not wrong. I told him, I said, what you could hope for, the best avenue, which we have a good enough defense, or things that at least show the right way that Evero wants to stay here. Because if you convince him to stay here and you give him a contract and he stays, even if he has to make a smidgen less money or the same money, like I said, it's not coming out of my pocket. It don't come out of the cap. If Tepper says, I'll give you a 3-year deal of exactly what I just gave you, he should take it. Now, if that's the case, and then in a couple years or a year, we make deep into the playoffs and people are looking at Evero with head coach, then we get them 2 third-round picks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we can't continue to be the last defense in the NFL, which is
Yeah,
what,
you're what
which is
you're
what we're getting
100%
at.
right.
And we can't be the 25th best defense in the NFL for him to get that
Right.
contract extension. He's got to get better than 20th or around that mark, in my opinion.
I believe.
Look at some of these guys that they brought in behind him, Pickle. Or maybe it was Evero that brought him in. That's why I was asking. I don't know. Ronaldo Hill is our secondaries coach now. The guy's been in the NFL for 11 years. He's been a defensive coordinator before for the Los Angeles Chargers from 21 to 22. Who brought him in? This is an experienced guy who's been placed in our secondary to fix what's been going on and coach up these young players that y'all are talking about, whether it's Ransom or whoever else that maybe Demonte Richardson's back there, and we got Chow Smith-Wade. We brought in this guy with 11 years of defensive experience in the NFL to coach these guys up, to make them develop and grow. And just like G-Baby was saying, we didn't bring in veterans like Jair Alexander to bolster up the defense. They're literally rolling the dice on these rookies, hoping that the coaching staff can make them grow within the pedigree that we have under Evero. And it's wild to me on how they plan on this to pan out, because common sense, every single Panthers fan will tell you right now, we need another cornerback that's dependable, that we need that depth, and we need another safety back there. Every single Panthers fan will tell you that, but we don't have it. They're betting on the coaching staff to change it, or either they're saying, all right, Dave, well, we put the training wheels on for you for the first 2 years at defensive coordinator, and in year 3, you get to pick the guy. I mean, is that the case? Is that what we're walking into here?
Well,
Hey, Deez is over Evero. Hey, Deez, I can tell you over his shit.
Evero got his start as a DB coach. So if the DB coach, if the DBs are our worst unit, and he's a DB coach, he should improve that himself. And so the fact that he's not, don't give me a whole lot of hype that he's going to improve, period.
Let's not forget this man drafted Jamie Robinson, dog.
I don't see that. That's one thing. I don't think Evero got. I don't think these guys were drafted with Evero's input as much as they were. This is what Dan wanted, because I believe Dan Morgan's told him, folks, just like he told Tepper, y'all go step back. I'm not talking to you right now. You got sit in the corner. I'm the guy. This is my team. Y'all go sit down. Shut up. You can enjoy your coffee. Have your cigarette. Have your smoke. Have your pop. Eat your ice cream. This is my draft. And he got who he wanted to get.
But listen, these little skills does bring up a good
Deets
point.
is over his shit. D don't like Evero. I can tell.
The truth of the matter is Dan Morgan did sort of fall on the sword for Evero last season and said
That's
that
why I
I
had to throw
did.
that out there.
Yeah, said that
That is crazy to me.
I didn't give him enough talent.
He's crazy to me, bro. How can he say that shit?
But hold on. But think about it. Think about it, G-Baby. Hold on, G-Baby. Just be reasonable a little bit. He lost Brian Burns. Whether you like him or not, he lost
Derek Brown,
Dante Jackson,
Dante Jackson.
Luvu.
Luvu was a big part.
He lost Vaughn.
Derek Brown, yeah, man.
Are we just gonna
saying.
Are we just gonna
Those
ignore
were-
the fact that everyone wants out of here? Like, there's been multiple people that said that everyone wants out of here.
That too.
By the way,
that-
welcome to Jake the
but
Snake
Jake-
back on the free for
I
all.
was talking about Easy E like that, Jake.
Oh shit, what's good, Jake? What's good, G?
Hey, I'm telling you right
with
now,
all
you're gonna taste the rainbow, G. You're gonna taste the damn rainbow, okay? Bill Hubbard is gonna rush for 1,000 piece again. I don't give a damn what anybody says.
You're gonna get 1,000 yards.
Let's go.
You're gonna get
I
1,000
like
yards. That's for sure. But I just feel like as he's seen all these things happening, and even though he was still being a team player for, whoever they drafted and bringing in people that, you know what I'm saying, that he had some background with as far as underneath the scheme, he still didn't get to actually get people for his scheme. So to be fair, that's just how I got to call it. that's why I think he was always looking for leverage to try to get out of here.
Because the defense was depleted, basically. And that's fair. That's fair.
That's just what it is, man. I mean, I just my main problem with him is when you take your best player out the game, not literally out the game, but man, I'm gonna put my prize fighter against your prize fighter. Yeah. We just had this on the Black Cat, and I was telling him about several situations with J.C. Horn. There is no reason why you should be blitzing J.C. Horn and letting CD Lamb slant across the field and score. And they were
hold on. Put it in perspective, though, Pop. They were having our edge rushers drop him into zone to try and guard CD Lamb while he was in the fucking slot, G. That is absurd.
From a schematic point, I don't like stuff like that. That was what I was saying, because even J.C. Horn was upset with him, saying, hey, I want to be the number one, line up with the number one. And I think he's proven that you should let that man do that.
The real question is, though, is Evero going to change his defense, bro? Because Evero's stubborn as fuck, G.
Yeah.
Stubborn, bro. We could have 200 yards of fucking rush offense put on our ass on the first half, and he'll still won't adjust to the fucking run game, dog.
If he decides to leave, who do y'all want next? You got to think we got players fit for a 3-4. So if you're looking for a coach, that can run a 3-4. Who would y'all want?
We got to get out of it. I can't do this 3-4 much longer, Pop. I can't.
No, let me say it real quick, and then I'll let Pickle go. And I said this after we drafted these dudes. I feel like Nick Scorton, Prince of Human Mullen, even Cam Jackson, I feel like those three dudes could easily fit into a 4-3 defense once and after Ejiro Evero leaves. So I don't think that these dudes that they drafted are very scheme dependent on being one thing or the other. And that is the good thing about them. I think they can thrive with or without Ejiro Evero.
Okay.
Y'all know I don't like a 3-4. Y'all know that. Well, I got to be real. There's some real good 3-4 defenses out there. I can say there's some good.
There's only a couple. Pickle.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying that what I'm saying is most of these guys I think can convert. I think Dan drafted a lot of these guys convert. Some of these guys that you see on the depth chart, contract either ends this year or they're easy to get out of the contract this year. So that being said, we can maybe merge over easier, but a linebacker, I'm talking about 4-3 linebackers. Inside linebackers in the NFL, in the 4-3 defense, they're called outside and inside linebackers. We do not have enough of them. So if we go get somebody that runs a 4-3 defense, we have to upgrade at linebacker.
It just makes you wonder if the NFL draft didn't tell us everything that we needed to know about Evero going forward. We decided to go wide receiver. We didn't add that big piece to the defense that everybody thought we were going to do, and a lot of Panthers fans were clamoring for. And maybe it's the fact that he's on the way out the door, and that's why they started changing players or changing coaches within his own roster. Like that's what I really want to know, because that's what it kind of seems like, what it kind of looks like from the outside looking in. Like maybe the Carolina Panthers said, there's no point in us investing the number 8 overall pick in this defense because the defense isn't going to be good. Pop's been saying all show that this is 3 years, and the way it looks right now with us not picking up those free agents at cornerback and at safety, yes, it's 3 years. It's going to take more time. We're not going to build that defense to where Panthers fans want it to be and believe in it this year. We've taken a pass. We're going to see what happens. We're going to see who grows and develops. And I think that's what they really want to see, is who can step up. And what we need is a breakout player. And with 3 linebackers, coach, it better be Trevin Wallace. Trevin Wallace better break out this season. You got to remember, against the Bears last year, Cody, Trevin Wallace recorded 15 tackles in that game. he had a hell of a game. Now, he didn't have a lot of turnovers, but nobody on the defense for the Panthers last year or the year before had many turnovers anyway. You got to remember, we sent J.C. Horn to the Pro Bowl with 1 interception. Just not utilizing the players on the field to be in the best position to make the plays. And that was the problem all season long, besides stopping the run. Like I said earlier in the show, in my opening monologue, 3,100 yards, 3rd worst in NFL history. We must stop the run this year, and failure to adjust will not last. CK has already said it. If we don't improve defensively, if this team doesn't look different, Evero's gone by week 6. And I have to believe in what CK said. He was passionate when he said it, and I agree with him. We can't open up like we did last year. Don't forget that week 1 against the Saints, we gave up 50 points. Things have to be different on that side of the football, or we're going to clean house, and Dan Morgan is going to be the guy with the broom.
Yes, sir.
I just hope Evero's tune has changed since the reports came out about him not wanting to be here, because I can't get behind a guy that don't want to be here, bro. If you don't want to be here, get down the road then, bro. I mean, I'm not taking no inputs from you either. Like, all these guys that we just drafted, like these previous 2 years, especially this year, I think they're just as much as Dan Morgan guys than people saying they're Evero guys. Because if you watch that blueprint, look what how happy Dan Morgan got about Ransom. He's like, I like both these guys. I mean, they're just like that. And when it came to talking about Ransom and ETN, because they was both in the 4th round, I believe. But I gotta hope that he wants to be here, man. Like, I really do, because if he don't want to be here and he's our defensive coordinator, man, that's gonna make every other defensive coach job much harder because of a guy like that. I hope he's changed. I mean, I can only hope for the best.
And real quick, shout out to Mike Hollinger with the $1.99 C3 bomb. Says, I don't see Tepper leaving 3-4 even after Evero. That's a good point. Maybe David Tepper decides, hey, under my rule, the Carolina Panthers run a 3-4. Remember, he's from Pittsburgh, and the Steelers
back a lot, though, Cody. He
has, but maybe he will decide that just like Pittsburgh is historically a 3-4. Maybe he'll decide the same thing for the Panthers. But hold that thought, Pickle, because Jake mentioned this preview for the blueprint. It's only a minute long. Let's check this out. The Panthers put this out today, and they have been killing it with their own content lately. They've been doing better, I think, than they ever have before. Let's check out the new teaser for the Panthers blueprint.
25, welcome back. Welcome back. I don't know what you guys expect, but I'm fired up.
The hardest thing in free agency is to understand what person are you bringing in the building.
You didn't wear your rings, though.
No, I didn't wear them. We got to go get some.
Yes.
Coach.
I like
I love that.
Our coaches had a very clear vision of how they wanted to improve the roster.
Let's just work together and get this thing right together.
We have this quarterback. Now let's start building this team and let's become the 2025 Panthers. There's no harder position to play than interior defensive line.
Easy, get out!
If we bring it every day,
There you go, good.
we will find out how good we can be.
There you go.
I'm just excited to get back out there and prove why I'm one of the best.
People are looking at the Carolina Panthers a little differently now. We're going to compete in every turn. We want to be the best at everything that we do.
I just want to throw something out there to just encourage y'all about the 3-4, because the 3-4 is not a bad defense. There is over 17 teams running a 3-4 defense in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's not, and the talent that we acquired, I think we're going to have a damn nasty D line. I really do. For some reason, that's just how I feel. If they stay healthy, boy, we might have it might be hell to pay for some of these guys going against us.
I mean, there's a reason why a lot of these teams are so successful with the 3-4. I don't mean to bring up bad memories, but that 2015 Broncos team was a 3-4 defense. They were pretty historic. The Ravens have been a 3-4 for a long time. You can do it right, but like I've always said, the Panthers.
The 85 Bears, Cody?
I believe so. They had the fridge up there. They were running wasn't it a 3-5? They were doing some other shit up there, bro.
Yeah,
But-
that exotic shit.
Yeah, bro. But like my thing about it is, and I've said this to Pickle before, that you have to have the right talent to be able to run that 3-4 effectively. And I do feel like now we finally have the right type of players to finally do that. So we'll see, man.
Y'all,
But I love
I'll-
this secret teaser. Go ahead, Pickle.
Right. And you know, one thing about it, when we in 09 or 010 rather, when we had the worst record, one of the worst records we've ever had, we went 2-14. We were in a 4-3 defense. Let's remember that. You know, there's been some really, as I've said it before, I didn't like the 3-4, but if you're going to run it, go get the players that fit it. We didn't have that the last few years. This year, we've got players who actually fit that 4-3 defense.
Yeah.
And, you know, if Evero walks, I think they've got somebody in-house that they really like. So.
Yeah, I agree.
And I believe that you don't be shocked if you don't see an in-house hire. But that being said, I think our defense is going to surprise some folks this year. I think our safety situation is going to be better than you think, and I think we're going to add to the corner in cuts and waiver claims.
Yeah. The only thing that gives me pause is that we're depending so much on young players.
Right.
You know, I think that kind of, I mean, listen, I'm not trying to, discredit DJ Wanham or Patrick Jones, because I think that they're going to really play a big part on the team this year. But you're depending upon a lot of young players to step up early on and make a difference for your football team. Now, that's what I'm hoping to see from Ejiro Evero's defense, but that hasn't always worked out so well for us in the past.
I mean, it's not like the defense is loaded with quality players. I mean, you got Derek Brown, you got J.C. Horn, and maybe you think Mike Jackson's a good number 2. Mo Riga certainly was a big acquirement for the Panthers, 100%. Well, I don't know how much fans believe in Wharton and how much production he's going to have this year. I mean, I don't know how much fans believe in Cam Jackson, making a difference up front. Ashawn Robinson, he had his best year of his career last year. I mean, who are the rock solid players that the Carolina Panthers are dependent on this season, other than the 3 or
is
maybe
Ashawn
4?
Robinson still on the team?
Yeah, he is. I mean, other than the 3 or 4, I mean, who are we really dependent on to make these plays for the Carolina Panthers this year? It's a lot of unproven people, to your point, Cody. Go ahead, G-Baby.
Yeah.
Hey, we about to have Derek Brown and Robinson together? Oh,
Yeah, but you got other guys too. You
Bro, the name that
We're
everybody
deep as hell
needs to
in that
be,
D-line,
the
Cody.
name that everybody needs to be looking out for is Tershawn Wharton. I think dude's about to go the fuck
He's gonna be a
off this
monster.
year.
He's
Yeah,
gonna be a
Tershawn's about to ball.
monster.
And
He's
let me get
a starter. I don't care what nobody says.
yeah, I agree. Let me get Michael in on the conversation. What are you thinking about the defense, bro? Do you think the Panthers finally have the right players to run a 3-4 defense effectively, Michael?
Sorry, I didn't know you were talking about me, but
Good.
So what was the question again?
Do you feel that the Panthers finally have the right players on defense to run a 3-4 defense effectively?
It's too early for me to say because honestly, I want to see it happen in game time. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Hey,
I won't
want to see it too.
I won't know until I see it happen. But if I don't, then I just got to say this right now. I don't know how to say his name, but the defensive coordinator for us right now needs to go. Like if he and it's like Jacob said or Jake said it earlier. If he's here, if he wants to stay, he better act like a fucking coach and say, "I want to be here and win." But if he's gonna be here and like hiding behind his little fucking tail across his fucking legs or whatever the dumb shit is, then he shouldn't fucking be here. And if he wants to keep on quitting on us, then fuck him. He's not a fucking coach. He's a loser. He's a loser.
All right. Hey, it's time to put up a show.
Angry.
I think we're to answer your question though, Cody. I think we're as close to having a true 3-4 as we ever been, for the simple fact that we finally got a true nose tackle. We got multiple true nose tackles now.
Yeah.
And I think that's
that.
the biggest factor. We have not had a true nose tackle since Evero has been the defensive coordinator. Finally, we do.
We got two of them, Jake.
Yes,
we got two of them, Jake. We got big cornbread. Yeah, we got two of them.
Big cornbread.
The nose, Pop, the two nose. You're talking about Big Grizzly and Robinson.
You got no. Robinson is not.
It's Bobby Brown. Yeah, is the one.
Bobby Brown and Cam Jackson.
Okay.
Right.
Cam Jackson is the one from Florida, right?
Yeah.
Right. He's like 6'8".
I gotta see these dudes put on the pads though in training camp and play though, G, before I can, because
I said this.
Pay attention to Bobby Brown, brother. Pay attention to Bobby Brown.
You got what's his name for the Rams? He's probably gonna be your starting nose tackle.
Yeah, Bobby Brown, right?
Bobby
Brown the third.
Yeah.
Right.
Listen, I
your
said
nose
this.
tackle is great.
I said this on the Tuesday show, like right after the draft, and Tony damn near laughed me out of the pod. But I said that I see some K1 short in Cam Jackson. I really do. He has those really long, strong arms, and I think that he has the potential to get upfield in a hurry. Now I know he doesn't have all the numbers, but I'm telling you, man, I think that the dude has potential to be a lot better than what some of us think about him. He might not live up to it, but I think the dude really does have a higher ceiling than people give credit for.
I agree on that, but as far as the comparison of player, I don't know.
I was about to say, I don't even think Cam Jackson's even gonna have the same like play style, because hell, K1 Short had a pretty good amount of sacks. Cam Jackson's not going to be that type of guy. Like, he's going to get a couple sacks, but he's not going to be the guy that gets upwards of like 8 sacks a year. I just don't. I don't think that's his game style. I think. I
don't have for him to get sacked.
Right.
I need him
gap
to
control,
push that pocket to where the quarterback can't walk into the pocket.
But remember, let me pose this to y'all though. We live in a day and age where now, if you have a really good nose tackle, they can get upward of 5, 6, 7 sacks. Look at Dexter Lawrence up there in New York. Now, I'm not saying Cam Jackson is Dexter Lawrence,
I'm not but
you have they're the same build. They have the same arm length. Like, they would put Aaron Donald at 0 technique, and he would have 3 people on him, and he would still be getting home. Now, I know it's Aaron Donald, but I'm saying there are defensive tackles that can do that. Also, what's the dude from New York? Quentin Williams. Quentin Williams is another one that you can put in nose, and he's still getting after the quarterback. So we'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah, it's on Todd Walsh in a lot of ways. Our defensive line coach. He's got to get these guys to grow and develop, and not only that, but stop the run. Like, that's why we added 2 nose tackles behind, in front of Shy Tuttle, however you want to look at it. And Shy Tuttle took less money this year. Like, he renegotiated to take less because he's probably going to be playing in a backup role behind Bobby Brown from the Rams. And we know that we're building this defense in that Rams image. We keep pulling resources from them. So you have to think that that's where it starts. It starts in the trenches. It starts up front. It starts with Todd Walsh, the guy that's been a defensive coordinator before, Pickle.
You look at AC Carter. Who did AC Carter work for last year, and who did he help develop? All them people we were lusting after for the Rams, that's who he developed to have those strong rookie years. You shall I bring up the Rams depth chart to
talk about Verse and Fisk, right?
Yes, and also, and also the defensive end, Turner, Kobe Turner. He also developed him very much so.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's there. But one thing about I want to ask y'all's opinion though. Who starts at outside end in a 3-4? A'Shawn Robinson or Tashir Wharton?
Whoever wins it.
Say it one more time, baby. Say it one more time.
Tashar Wharton or A'Shawn Robinson?
Oh, Tashar Wharton. I think Wharton's a better player.
He's paid like a starter. He's paid.
You're right. But I mean, and the sad part, A'Shawn Robinson actually led our team in sacks last year. A'Shawn might not.
Yeah, he played well for us.
And he played very well last year.
We got clowned for what we paid Wharton, though. That's my only point.
You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Wharton's I think Wharton is a better. Yeah, I think he's better. I'm gonna throw this out there. If some of these guys step up like we want them to step up, don't be shocked if we don't trade somebody.
So that's actually a good point. I wanted to put the attention on some of the dudes that are not spoken about a lot. Shout out my boy White Chocolate in the chat. He says, can they find something for Barno to do? The dude is 6'5" and runs a 4.3. What do y'all think about Amari Barno and even DJ?
He got to stay healthy. Yeah.
First of all, the man needs to stay healthy.
Oh, let me finish the question. I'm even throwing DJ Johnson. I'm even throwing DJ Johnson into this because that was somebody else that Evero thought very highly of. When it comes to Barno and Johnson, what chances do they have at being a difference maker for us?
Me and Pecco was over here about arguing like we about to get free.
Very little. Mario Barno was an excellent special teamer last year. He just was excellent. He hasn't stayed healthy long enough to get on the base defense and show what he got that way. When he has been on there a little bit, but not enough to show anything. But he is an elite special teamer. DJ Johnson is elite nothing. His skill set
how do you really feel, Pickle?
He's just
he had his
I mean DJ Johnson is barely on this fucking roster, y'all. Let's be real.
You're not lying. He's really
he's just barely there. I tell you what, Boogie Basham will probably make this roster over DJ Johnson.
And I'm
You're probably not wrong.
Boogie Basham, shout out to him.
You're probably
not. And I mean, as much as listen, DJ Johnson is a guy I truly believe, and we've chit-chatted about this. Y'all, his NFL career is going to be determined in this training camp.
That's sad but true.
I mean, if he gets cut here, he may. I'm going to assume he'll get picked up somewhere on a practice squad. But ask yourself, James, what is the name of that linebacker we had a couple years ago? We drafted in the 3rd round.
Brandon Smith.
Brandon Smith. Where's he at now, y'all? Does anybody know where Brandon?
That was such a waste of talent, man.
Oh my God,
it really was.
It really was. I really think could have developed here.
I think so too.
I think, and I'm just gonna keep it as funky as I can. I think DJ Johnson showed me, believe it or not, I think the transition. The thing that I didn't like about drafting him was because he was a tight end who then turned into a defensive end.
Yeah,
and that was the part I was like, what? Like, or you put him in outside linebacker. Like, I'm like, whoa. You jumped up to go get him because y'all didn't manage your draft the right way. So DJ Johnson has more potential than what we think, but he's in a hard room. He's in a hard room to get any type of playing time. So I would tell him to go back home. I mean, from the very beginning, wherever he came from, to find some motivation, because you're gonna be in a hard camp, because there's a possibility you're gonna get cut. Maybe not right now, maybe not the start of the season, but maybe later on in the season. When it comes to Barno, like you said, is a good special
pull up
teamer.
That depth chart, Cody.
Barno is a good special teamer, but at the same time, he's another one don't see no fight, stays injured, and special team is very important. We definitely want that. But man, we can find somebody that can be a little bit more active and available. If you're just here just lollygagging around, always stay hurt. I think he's out of here, bro. He's probably going to be on the cutting block.
Right. You know, if you look at this right here, folks, you know, I'm going to assume we only keep four outside linebackers, edge rushers. I'm going to assume. Yeah. Am I wrong?
I think only 4.
Maybe 5 at most. Maybe. But, I mean, you're going to keep Patrick Jones. You're going to keep Nick Scorton, of course. Then you're going to keep DJ Wanham and Princely. Princely.
Human Newland.
Yeah, Human Newland.
Good job.
Yeah, and maybe Barno if he can play special teams. But are you sure you're going to keep those? You know what I'm saying? I mean, like you said, Pop, DJ Johnson might just I mean, we may cut a guy that's got a lot of talent just because we've got other folks with a lot of talent on the roster.
How many middle linebackers do we keep? I think only 4.
I would assume
Not
4.
Good ones, Jacob.
I would assume 4, but I don't know that those 4 are good though. But I mean,
no, Roseboone's pretty good. He's actually pretty good.
Roseboone.
I'm putting a lot of hope.
He can't cover. I don't let that man cover.
And Wallace, John Beeson.
Where my Gamecock fan at?
Hey, baby, you better stop that shit. That's one thing you are.
Gamecock fan?
Hey, I hear crickets.
Ain't that a Gamecock fan on here?
Yeah,
Who
you
the
can
hell
hear
would-
crickets.
Hey, bro, who the hell would do something so dumb as to be a Gamecock fan?
I'm just
That's
saying,
the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
I like Bam, bro. Bam in that Hawaiian or Samoan.
Yeah, what is his
Bam Martin Scott?
Yeah,
Bam.
he's over number 40.
Namora?
Yeah, Namora, whatever his name. I've heard some good things about them too.
I have,
but you know, I mean, now I'm hoping one of them plays so damn good they knock Claudette Claris out of the job.
Pickle. Me too.
Because I don't want that man on this roster.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't want him on a roster. I just want one of these young guys to step up.
Hell, I do. First of all, he wears number 53.
Who?
What an awful number to wear.
Get Shirley on my team.
Claudette Claris.
Hey man, let me welcome in Surfside Steve
What's
to the
up?
Friday Free for All. Steve, how are you, man?
I'm doing fine. Just came home from dinner with the wife. You know, we have to go out sometime and have fun. You know.
That's right.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, man. What are you feeling about this defense this year? What would it take for you to want to retain Ejiro Evero as our defensive coordinator this year?
Oh, I gotta see confidence, man. That's all I'm asking for. You know, people know what they're doing because now he's got his people supposedly. So now that should happen. Last year, nobody had what they wanted. So now I expect good stuff. Now, about the first thing you mentioned about the receiver, XL, I think has got the upside. I think he's going to run the field for his size and speed and go up and down the field. And Tet's going to be the monster in the end zone. That's how everybody else will just do their own thing.
Yeah.
Right? And I can't believe we're actually saying good things about our entire receiving corps. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know, man. So many options that the Panthers have. We're not used to this type of wide receiver room. Yeah, not at all, man. But
no,
yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but
No,
you
no.
know that John Radigat. Now he was the guy
Gotta
they
go.
brought in. Yeah, he was the guy they brought in last year. They said he was an elite special teamer. He may make that fourth spot. He may make that fourth spot as just that, with your top backup being Josie Jewell or Roseboom.
Nah, he getting cut. Roseboom better than him. He getting cut. I'm sorry. He getting cut. He ain't gonna.
Well, I mean, how many middles do you think how many inside linebackers do you think we keep? That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Let me see. Trevin Wallace, Josie Jewell,
let's do this.
Roseboom, and man, it's probably Chairless, huh?
They like Shirley for some reason.
Cody, that's a trash ass room. I'm sorry to tell you that.
Now, I know a lot of people.
It ain't got Peyton Wilson.
You gotta stop with that.
I'm not. I don't have anything against Claudette. I just don't have anything good to say about it.
You know who I would like to see step up in a big way, and I know it's asking a lot because he's undrafted, but Tuavisi Nomura.
Yeah.
Malo looking like.
I like him. I saw him. I saw what he looked like, and then I had to Google some play film about him. I like what I saw.
He's a middle linebacker, Cody.
Bro.
Yeah.
Can I say something, Cody, real quick, G?
Should you ask nicely?
Cole, what the fuck is your deal with fucking Trevin fucking Wallace, dog?
Not
What
even
the
close
fuck
to
is
my
Trevin
standards.
Wallace
As a
Because he
good
didn't come from
Panthers
NC State.
linebacker. He don't do nothing good. Nothing.
He
does nothing.
he's not
good.
NC
What
State
does he do
approved.
good?
Yep, that's it.
You can't stop him. What's he do good?
So hold on. I gotta jump in because we gotta keep it fair. I predicted when we went into the draft on Black Cat, I predicted this. When we drafted him, I say, watch out because Trevor Wallace will probably be playing earlier than he needs to before he actually is developed because I did not believe in Shaq Thompson's health. And what happened, guys?
He got hurt.
Shaq Thompson does what he does best.
Now, when was Trevor Wallace drafted?
Trevor Wallace was drafted in the third round, I believe.
Okay, third round. He was not expected to be a starter. He was not. Now, watch as years go by. The Carolina Panthers are going to praise Shaq Thompson. They're going to make him be a legend and all that. Never been a Pro Bowler. Never been a – what accomplishments? He hasn't met none of the standards of TD or Luke Kuechly. But they're going to make it look like that. Trevor Wallace was not supposed to be playing. He was supposed to be sitting back learning. So please just give him a little grace, guys. He was a rookie, guys. He wasn't supposed to be starting. He was a developmental guy. And not only that, go and talk about Evero scheme. If you look at Trevor Wallace was great at blitzing the quarterback. We did not blitz Trevor Wallace. That's what he does great. Know what your talent is and use it to your advantage.
I thought he had
chess, not checkers. I understand why y'all feel the way y'all feel about him, but I watched a lot of tape, bro. I'm telling you.
And by the way, I don't even think Trevor Wallace was that bad, bro. Like there were times.
No, he wasn't.
There were times last year when he was the topic of the free for all, the Tuesday show. Trevor Wallace, and again, he was a rookie. He has a ton of potential.
Yeah, he had one sack.
Yeah, he has a ton of potential. And I think that he can be good this year.
They had that man on the field.
Y'all should be mad at Josie
bro.
Jewell. That's who y'all should be mad about. Y'all should be mad about Josie Jewell.
No, you're right. No, you're 100% right. And I think that's why they brought in Roseboom. I really do. I think that Josie played so poorly in the beginning of the season. He did make a recovery towards the end, but it was so bad in the beginning of the season, especially rewatch that Saints game, him just falling down over Shaq Thompson and other players. It was awful. Yeah. I think that's why they brought in Roseboom. Remember 130 tackles in 10 games for Roseboom. It's freaking crazy. The guy's a tackling machine. I think they brought him in to compete and take Josie Jewell's job. Otherwise, why would you bring him in? There's no other reason to. You shouldn't bring him in over your rookie linebacker that you brought in at top of the third or fourth round, whatever it was. I can't remember right now. And I think, a lot of this is on the coaching staff, like I said before. We've developed UDFAs on offense. Look at Jalen Cooker and how well he played last year. This offensive staff was able to make him look fantastic during the 2024 season for the Panthers. Now, can this defensive coaching staff make UDFAs like these linebackers we're talking about look fantastic in this 2025 season? We need to see something comparable, or we have all of our weight on the offensive staff and no talent on the coaching staff of defensive mind.
Now, I do like that Jacoby Windman. He played a little bit last year. I like him pretty well. I think he's 250. How's that? And Cole, I know your issue. Let me get him. Let me tell you what. Okay, he wanted Wilson. The Steelers took. because he should have been taken instead of Wallace. Let's be real, talent-wise. But I'm sure the Panthers' old medical staff, who was in charge back then, said you can't take him. He's got a bad knee. All right, but the same medical staff said everybody else, like Brooks, is great. So then, when the season happened, as it happened, Brooks went down, and Wilson became a starter and a great player for the Steelers. That just put a sour taste in your mouth about Wallace. But that's not Wallace's fault. So I don't hold out against him. I think the kid's going to be okay. I think Wallace is going to be okay. I'm going to say corner is our weakest position, but middle linebacker don't fall too far beyond that.
Yeah, I mean, safety is also another one.
Right. Roseboom and Wallace, I think, are going to end up being the starters with Josie coming off the bench. And God help us after that.
Sign me up for that.
I think corner.
God help us
our
after
worst
that.
situation. Linebacker.
Go ahead, Steve. Go ahead, Steve.
Okay, I'm most concerned about our linebackers. I mean, we wouldn't Josie injury away from having Wallace as the main man, and
that's what I just said. I think Wallace and Christian Roseboom, are our two best middle linebackers anyway. I think Josie Jewell is. I think starting material. I don't think it was ever a great starting material, but nonetheless, he's here, and I think he'll be a quality backup at best.
Like every position we have, everything's a mystery at this point. We don't know what it's going to be.
Right.
And a couple of them, I can't wait. We got 1 month to figure it out.
And we all know the best the pass rush. We stop the run and we rush the passer.
Like stepbrothers.
It's to make everybody better.
Some of these positions that it's going to make them look better than they are.
Man, Pop,
they are.
He's a stepbrother.
Biological brothers.
Cody,
listen, I'm gonna tell you how Trevor Wallace eat.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you how Trevor Wallace eat. Trevor Wallace eat if that defensive line does their job. I promise you.
Yeah.
I know, G baby, you shaking your head, but go look at his tape. His defensive line was nasty in Kentucky, bro. Was nasty.
Yeah, baby, but let me
He had big
Hubbard, and I bet he never bought a Christian McCaffrey jersey. I guarantee it.
Why would you want to buy
Cody? I'm gonna just keep it simple like this. Growing up a Panthers fan for 20 plus years,
you have
you and me for so long, Gina, but heard anything you said, brother.
You know what I'm saying? How I hold the standard to our linebackers and the state of our middle linebacking core right now is Josie Jewell, Trevin Wallace, and Roseboom. Like, really fucking hurts me, and it's embarrassing. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. That's how I hold my linebackers. That's how I was raised. I can't deal with this shit. I need better, dude. I've been screaming for it, and we didn't get no help. Except for maybe Roseboom. Roseboom just got my heart and hope right now. I hope he bails us out. If he pops off, then it probably could work.
But Cody, that's why I said it's gonna take maybe another year or a year and a half.
It is. They just do my
first round pick next year should be a middle linebacker.
Yeah, it's Anthony Hill
on your quarterback.
Ain't nobody gonna support you more than me on that. I don't feel like nobody's ever felt like we needed a middle linebacker in the first round. I love that idea.
I love the middle linebacker.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
As long as they're worth picking in the first round. I'm going to say it. He may not have been called a middle linebacker, but he played it. Shaq Thompson was not deserving of a first-round pick.
He wasn't.
I'll stand it today, and I'll say that to the day I die.
Yeah,
David Gettleman used a dumb son of a bitch for that.
I can't argue against that, but I can't say that he was a failure as an athlete or as a football player because, in my mind, he wasn't a failure as an athlete or nothing like that.
His best years were when he had Thomas Davis and Luke
his ass on the goal line. I'll never forget that shit, bro.
What'd you say, G?
When Alvin Kamara ran his ass over going into the fucking goal line. I'll never.
He got thrown like a rag doll by Derek Brown though.
Yeah, he did.
B-John did Shaq Thompson.
No, the hell I ain't gonna be nuts either. Alvin Kamara was the best running back in this whole draft class. He should have been taken by the Panthers instead of Christian McCaffrey.
I
put that out there.
Damn.
Now, in reality, he is from Tennessee and
oh, there it is.
That's the only reason why. Now, that being said, all his other personal shit, I could care less about either one of them. But go ahead.
Yeah.
I had to say that. Just because Jesus beside me.
He chose violence today, didn't he?
He was walking the plane for no reason. I don't know why he did that.
Yeah, man. Dang. I mean, like, you're
Cody,
right.
just middle linebackers aren't coveted like that anymore. Like, what the fuck is wrong with us?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. The middle linebacker is a dying breed.
Right. While we're on the conversation, and I've had this before on Spaces, but I'll bring it here. I truly believe, y'all, that Dan loved Wilson. What's his first name, Cole? I forgot.
Peyton Wilson.
Yeah, Peyton Wilson. I believe Dan loved Peyton Wilson. I really do. And I believe the only reason why we didn't take him was because the medical staff told him not to. And then he turns around and goes to the Steelers and have that great year.
Pickle, he didn't have no kneecaps.
Well, he looked good for the Steelers. I agree with you. I told Cole that they probably wouldn't draft him because of his kneecaps. I told him that. And
yeah, they said they didn't even have no knees. They
Right.
said
He didn't have an ACL in both legs.
they said that he did not have an interior knee, bro.
I feel like
And he was still good without him.
I feel like the linebacker that we missed out on, that I feel like that we should have taken was fucking Jack Campbell or what's his name?
I would have hopped off.
I tell you, a linebacker we missed out on that we could have got.
You love Jack Campbell, boy.
What's that Packers linebacker? Cooper? Is it Edgar and Cooper? I believe. How you ever say his first name?
Oh, from A&M.
Dude, that dude was. I knew he was going to be
from
good.
A&M.
I knew he was going to be good.
Arguing with y'all about him too. Yeah, I would have rather have him. He went to Green Bay. Is he doing shit over there or not?
No, he was good with Green Bay. Yeah, he's good with Green Bay.
That's why our next draft. That's why this season is so important for. And I hate to bring it back to G baby, but I got to. Your boy Bryce has to make sure that he secures. Deposit. Sees it all the way through, my boy.
There's
He has
nothing
to
you got
guarantee.
He's
He has to guarantee.
He's got to hold that throne down.
1,001%. Because I'm telling you, we do not want to be in a situation as a Carolina Panther fan to be looking at another draft for a
I don't want a
quarterback
shot for a
because we
quarterback, bro.
need a linebacker, and our second round pick needs to be either a corner or another ball hawking safety. That's just what we really need to go.
I think the next draft, all the picks need to go towards the defensive side of the ball, bro, in my opinion. We need another offensive lineman.
What you say, crazy G baby? Hold on, I hear you. What'd you say? Say it again.
We need another offensive lineman. We need that entire draft class next year has got to be multiple defensive picks. I think we need to add more. I think Anthony Hill, man, is the best linebacker in all college football. So if we can get someone of his caliber on this defense, I'd be happy, bro.
Yeah,
we need a punter. We also need a punter next year, y'all. We already drafted a punter with our third pick.
No. What we need to do is draft a player from that loaded Clemson Tiger football team. Is what we really need. On defense and the backfield, the wide receivers. Bro, Clemson got it this year, dog.
Hey, Cupcake is going to be the best draft pick of the.
Hey, Pickle.
It's Cupcake.
I got a crazy
prediction. Wait, Pickle. Who's your quarterback? Oh, that's right. He left to another team.
Pickle's quarterback's about to ball the fuck out. You just don't know it yet.
Hey, Cody, I got a crazy prediction.
I know who.
The first three games.
Hey, that quarterback had morale problems.
Wait, hold on. Pop, what'd you say?
if we lose the first 3 games, I bet you Carolina Panther podcasters will be doing a mock draft.
Probably.
Oh, yeah, you know that.
Yeah, that'll be
You know
easy,
that.
bro.
I will. Yeah,
You'll be all the hell.
We'll
bro.
go with 3.
I want honestly, like one of the biggest question marks I think we have about this team is what is going to happen with our right tackle. Like, what is the plans at right tackle?
To let him walk.
He's gonna be a pro.
If he plays like he did last year, sign.
You heard it here.
Taylor Moton's not going anywhere. Taylor Moton is going anywhere.
I don't want him to go nowhere.
I don't want him to go nowhere.
No, I'm not saying I want that to happen. I'm just saying I believe that's what they're going to do.
No, fuck
He's
no.
gonna be a Pro Bowler.
He's our most dependable offensive lineman. He's our best offensive lineman. He's not going.
I agree with you, G baby. He's gonna play so good. That's why I say he's gonna be a Pro Bowler. He's gonna put us in a hell of a situation. Who gonna get paid? Him or Bryce? That's Carolina Panther passion.
Hey, we can't lose Taylor Moton. I don't give a fuck.
He ain't made the Pro Bowl yet. That's the problem.
Hey, that's fine. He's our most dependable offensive line that we have, bro.
Did he give up any sacks last year?
So, if you think about it, it's
So
really
let me
crazy.
ask you this: how much you want to pay him?
Not everybody get quiet.
If you don't give up no sacks,
How
I
much
don't
you
give a
pay?
fuck. man. That's
2 years, 55.
His agent will not allow a small or team-friendly deal.
Yeah,
He listened to his agent.
Talking about, dude? He already got his back from us.
No, his contract is up after this season.
I'm not giving him more than $22 million annually a year. I'm just gonna say that. Trent Williams is getting paid, I think, $24 to $26 million a year annually, and he's a
Jay,
left
but if you
tackle.
don't give up no sacks, you got to pay that.
Oh, I'm not saying I want to keep
Right,
Moton. I want to keep Moton. I hope he retires here because it's crazy to me that he's never gotten a Pro Bowl because the dude has been money.
Oh, that
for-
talk, Jay.
You can't put a price tag on profession. If you don't give up no sacks, fuck.
All right, look, man. This is the time of the show when. Oh, shut up! I'm fucking talking, boys. This is the time of the show where I end up having to say, "I gotta get off," and then everybody gets mad at me because I gotta end the
Everybody
phrase
gets mad.
off.
early.
Man,
You got 2 more hours.
What's going on?
We can fight all night, bro.
We need to start this at 6:30.
You see what I mean, bro?
You should let on Thursday.
Come on now, Cody. You did this shit last Friday. Oh, I gotta get off and go see my girl. Had to eat some ass. Nah, bro, you with the fellas, bro. We staying up all
Let
night.
Friday to get her some butt.
You said we staying up all
Friday to
night.
get some butt. What's
talking
going on?
about?
Why you with the Friday?
To us last week. It ain't no.
What else are we about to do?
Thank you,
So what we are going to do?
Hey, that
He's
green
gonna
room
drop a
about to
rock,
be
but
lit,
all he
though.
want to do is drop some.
I drop my balls, but look, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna let everybody have their final word for the free for all, and then we're gonna start the weekend, boys. I appreciate each and every single one of you. I'm gonna start with my man, Surfside Steve. I appreciate you, bro. What's your final words for the free for all today, brother?
Oh, well, it was great hanging out with you guys, talking football and everything. It's good. Pickle, you're an old guy like me, right? You remember Fran Tarkington, the Vikings scrambler?
Mm-hmm.
I think that could be Bryce Young because he was kind of smallish but very flexible, ran well, and threw the ball and was very smart. I think that's who he reminds me of at times. Fran Tarkington. Cody, look him up. He's an old timer.
of that.
I know the name very well, Fran Tarkington. That was before my time, admittedly, but I know he was a great football player. Yeah, man. But yeah,
Giants
Steve.
and Vikings fan up north.
Yeah, man. No, I appreciate you though, Steve. Next up, I'm gonna go to my brother Michael Wydrick. Yet again, prayers up for Michael Wydrick and his grandmother and her cancer.
Prayers to you, brother.
Prayers up to him. Michael, we got you in our thoughts and prayers. Hope that we were able to distract you from the outside world today. What's your final thoughts for the free-for-all, bro?
Keep pounding. That's all I gotta say.
Keep pounding,
fucking
brother.
pounding.
Keep pounding,
Keep
Michael.
fucking pounding. That's what's up. Now we're gonna go to my man Poppin from the Black Cat Panther Podcast, not the 704 Charlotte Bound Show, but check out all of those. like and subscribe to every single one of them. Pop, we appreciate you as always, bro. Give me your final thoughts for the free for all, man.
Man, shout out to 704 Charlotte Barrow show. Those are my cousins, family over there. I love them to death. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe when it goes to their channel. Man, I feel kind of weird because I feel like not doppelgangers, but doppel cousins. Because since Surfside and Pickle got the same chair, it's crazy. Man, listen, 71 more days.
We earned it. We earned this. We earned those
yes,
chairs.
y'all did.
Y'all earned them chairs. You know what I'm saying? OGs.
Yes,
man, I love coming on here talking to my brothers and sisterins.
Appreciate you, Pop.
Like I said, this is 2 shows in a row that me and G Baby have agreed on something weird. Doesn't make sense.
Scratch off, y'all.
Yeah.
You ought to go to Black Cat Panther Podcast. See how it rhymes with you.
Yeah. Make sure you come over there and check out Black Cat Panther Podcast. It's a riot. Other than that, man, great conversations. I want all the guys from the Carolina Panthers to come back healthy. Please, guys. I hope they come back healthy. Don't be riding dirt bikes on Betas Ford Road running from the cops. We don't need that no more. Other than that, man, it's been great. I've been waiting on this all day. Let's figure out a way for Cody to play with that midnight oil Monday to Thursday instead of on Friday, because he has accountability duties. And,
man.
I guarantee you, it smells like lavender right now in that room.
Right now, he got
you almost married.
Hey, bro, I got some tea tree oil, bro.
You almost married.
Get at me, bro. Get at me, bro.
You got shitty oil over there.
I mean,
He'll be washing dishes and mopping the floor for long.
Shit. Nah, I said the pig.
Yeah, you are.
All right, man. Let me go to my brother.
Dear.
Let me go to my brother Jake the Snake. Appreciate you as always, my man. Give me your final thoughts for the free for all, bro.
Hey, I love being in here. I hate that I was late, but anytime I get in here and chat with y'all, man, it's always a privilege. I love it. Shout out to C3 Legion. Shout out to all y'all that show up and chat with us, whether it's commenting or just joining the show. Appreciate every single one of y'all. As close as we get to the season, man, I really do believe that we're going to have a special season, and I'm sitting on my 9 wins, man, anywhere around there, maybe 10. Any more than that, man, I mean, it's going to be a ride. I love it. Keep pounding, y'all.
Keep pounding. Let me go to my brother G Baby. Cammed up for the show. I appreciate it, bro. G Baby, give me your final thoughts for the show, bro.
I'm gonna go ahead and give a prediction for our season.
Do that thing.
I feel like we're gonna be. I'm gonna put us at 6 wins because I feel like if I put us at 6 wins, hopefully we go above that. So I'm gonna give us 6 wins because actually no. What do we have to reach to get 500 in this new NFL? How many games? How many?
It's a 17 game season.
It's gonna be more than 6. Or we need more than 6 for that.
Yeah, we need.
I would imagine we at least have to
That's
get
the reason why I said 9.
to get considered the playoff. We should get at least 9 wins.
I know, but what do we have to be 500?
I don't know that. I'm sorry, I don't know that.
9. It's a 17 game season.
Oh,
so it's an odd number.
It's
an odd number. So it's
9. Okay. All right. Well, then I'm putting us at 9 wins because we have not gone 500 since 2017. So I'm predicting us at 9 wins. I'm predicting Bryce Young to have a tremendous year. This is Bryce Young doesn't get enough credit on just being a cerebral, just very intellectual fucking QB. And I know he worked his ass off this offseason and going into this offseason at least. So I'm predicting him to fucking throw for a little under 4,000, maybe even hit 4,000 passing yards. I'm going to give Bryce Young 25 passing TDs where the offense, I believe we're going to have a top 10 offense. I believe our wide receiver core is top 8. I believe a lot of people are sleeping on our wide receivers and our tight ends. So
even Excel.
I'm in he's a part of the wide receiver.
Yeah, all right. I caught him, boys. I caught him. I caught him, boys.
He's making a roster, you know what I'm saying? So he's a part of that group. So I feel confident, boys. I feel good, but I'm very worried about the defense. That's the main thing. Our Princely and Nick have to come in and be bona fide superstars. Like, they have to come in and be bona fide superstars because we're playing a lot of young fellas, and that's exactly why we need at least one or two more vets on the back end. I just want a vet to be able to communicate with a JC Horn on the left side, to communicate with a Mike Jackson on the right side, and to communicate, with the nickel and with the linebackers, and just have everyone in the right position. So I personally would like Justin Simmons, but who knows what the fuck we're gonna do, And I heard a report saying Stephon Gilmore. I don't know if he's interested. I seen a couple of reports with his name being thrown out there, and I wouldn't mind fucking Stephon Gilmore coming back to fucking Carolina. It's a vet presence. It's a player that won defensive fucking player of the year. So why wouldn't you want that?
I don't want him, but I see that too, G-Baby.
All right. G-Baby, the motherfucking man. Appreciate you, bro. Let me grab my man, Cole. C3 Cole. Appreciate you, bro. Give me your final thoughts for the free-for-all, dude.
Cody, man, it's just been a complete turnaround for me since January because I really didn't have a whole lot of hope in anything going forward. But I see the vision out there draft for the first time in a very, 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 very long time. I see where we're trying to get to, and I believe we have the people to do it. And I'm just like G-Baby and everybody else. I'm really concerned about the defense, but I think the offense will be fine, man. I wasn't going to get my hopes up, but I think we're right around the mark win-wise that everybody says, and we should be fighting for a playoff berth this year. And just come check us out on Spaces, man. I appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. Follow Cole, Pickle, Diesel Skills for the awesome C3 Legion Spaces that they do. Next up, we got my man, Panther Pickle. Pickle, give me your final thoughts for the free-for-all, bro.
Join us on Spaces. If you don't like C3, you can still join us on Spaces. If you don't like Cody Lack, you can still join us on Spaces. If you don't like me, you can
everybody likes me. Pickle.
I don't like to talk anything but the Panthers, but there are folks that are on our Spaces that don't mind to talk basketball. And if you get real lucky, I'm in a nice mood and mute myself and shut up while you talk basketball. Don't count on it.
That is true.
Don't count on it.
Yes, sir.
And,
all right.
I don't talk baseball because it's just that.
Because it's baseball.
Yeah, I don't like it. So
yeah, sir. All right.
So
don't bother Pickle to know. We're moving on. We're moving on.
Cody, real quick. One thing, real quick.
Oh my God, bro.
Just real quick.
Hurry up.
Y'all got any movie suggestions or TV shows?
Oh my gosh!
We're about to go to the green room, bro. I got you.
Yeah, y'all say bye to G-Baby. Y'all say bye to G-Baby. Y'all gonna talk to him later, bro. Hey man, you know how we do it around here. We give the final words to my dog, the brand ambassador, Diesel Skills. These, give me the final thoughts, and then let's get up out of here, brother.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold us, man. C3 is here for you every Tuesday night, 9 p.m., the flagship show. You can be a part of that show by calling in your cat call and be a part of that discussion at 252-228-5098. And once again, anyone is free to join here on the Friday Free for All, 7 p.m. every Friday. Just join the link in the description. You can be a part of this conversation as we're heading together to a Carolina Panthers game and discussing this Panthers team. I think it was a great discussion tonight by all the Carolina Panthers fans. I think we uncovered a lot of things that fans need to know as truths, as how much this offense is built up and how much more work is left for this defense going forward for this Carolina Panthers team. What will they do in 2025? Who knows? Stay tuned to the longest running Panthers podcast, the C3 Panthers Podcast, because here, Cody, it's where the fans matter.
Keep pounding, C3 Legion.